Discipline is the backbone of success. Without it, dreams remain just that, dreams. But with discipline, you gain control over your life, your actions, and your future. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve their goals effortlessly while others struggle? The difference is often discipline, the ability to stick to the plan, even when it's hard. It's about pushing yourself when you don't feel like it and staying committed, even when distractions pull you in 1,000 directions. In this video, we're going to dive deep into how you can master discipline, not just for a short time, but for life. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent, making decisions that align with your goals, and building a mindset that never quits. Stick around, because mastering discipline is the key to unlocking your full potential, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Chapter 1, take control of your habits to shape your future. You've probably heard this before, but I'll say it again because it's true. The future you want, the person you dream of becoming, isn't a matter of luck or circumstances. It's built on the habits you form today. In fact, your habits are the blueprint for the life you will lead. The way you think, the way you act, the way you respond to challenges, everything stems from the routines you've established. Think about this for a moment. Every action you take, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is leading you somewhere. Right now, as you read this, your habits are shaping the person you're becoming. If you don't like what you see in your life, the good news is that you have the power to change it. It's all about taking control of your habits and intentionally shaping your future. Our habits are powerful. They're the silent forces that drive us, guiding our days in ways we often don't even notice. The food we eat, the way we spend our time, the decisions we make, even the way we talk to ourselves, all of these things are habits. And these habits either push us toward success or drag us away from it. The key to changing your life isn't to look for quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about taking control of your habits and making them work for you. Imagine if you had the power to make every small action count. If you could wake up each day knowing that you were on a path to becoming the best version of yourself, that's what mastering your habits can do for you. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about making small, intentional changes that add up to something huge over time. In this chapter, we'll explore how to take control of your habits and how doing so can shape your future in ways you never thought possible. Let's start by understanding why habits are so powerful and why they matter so much. The power of habits. Habits are the foundation of everything we do. They are the automatic actions that happen without much thought or effort. They allow us to save mental energy by creating patterns that become ingrained over time. The problem is, most of us don't take the time to evaluate our habits and decide which ones are serving us and which ones are holding us back. Think about how you start your day. Do you wake up feeling energized, ready to take on the world, or do you hit the snooze button and start your day in a rush? The habits you have in place at the start of your day set the tone for everything that follows. If you're starting your day with bad habits, sleeping in too late, rushing through breakfast, checking your phone for notifications, you're already working against yourself. But if you've established good habits, waking up early, drinking water, planning your day, setting clear intentions, you're setting yourself up for success. Habits work the same way, whether they're good or bad. They either take you closer to your goals or pull you further away. The best part is that once a habit is formed, it requires less effort. This is the key to mastering your future. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. The more you can turn positive actions into habits, the less you have to rely on willpower. Eventually, these habits become automatic and work for you, even when you're not consciously thinking about them. How to take control of your habits. Taking control of your habits isn't as complicated as it may seem. It all starts with awareness. You need to first identify the habits you currently have and then evaluate whether they're serving you or sabotaging you. This isn't about guilt or shame, it's about honesty. The goal is to understand what you're doing on a daily basis and how those actions are impacting your life. Start by paying attention to the small things you do every day. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Did you grab your phone and start scrolling through social media? Do you immediately start thinking about all the things you have to do? Or do you wake up and focus on your goals for the day? What about when you're working? Do you get distracted easily, or do you stay focused on the task at hand? Every action you take, no matter how small, is contributing to the habits you're forming. Once you've identified your current habits, it's time to decide which ones you want to keep and which ones you need to change. Here's a simple way to start. Pick one habit to focus on. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit that you know will make a big impact on your life. It could be something simple like waking up earlier, exercising every morning, or limiting screen time before bed. Choose something that feels manageable but meaningful. Make it small and specific. The key to forming a new habit is making it simple. Instead of saying, "I want to get in shape," commit to something specific like, "I will exercise for 20 minutes every morning." The more specific you are, the easier it is to track progress and stay consistent. Make it consistent. The power of habits lies in repetition. You need to practice your new habit every single day. Consistency is what makes habits stick. Set a specific time or place to do your new habit so it becomes part of your routine. The more consistent you are, the more automatic it will become. Use triggers to remind you. Sometimes we forget to do the things we want to do. To make sure you follow through on your new habit, use a trigger. A trigger is a specific cue that reminds you to take action. For example, if you want to start meditating in the morning, place your meditation cushion next to your bed as a reminder. When you see it, you'll remember to take action. Track your progress. Tracking your progress is crucial for building a new habit. It gives you something concrete to measure and helps you stay motivated. Keep a journal or use a habit tracking app to mark off each day you successfully complete your habit. This simple act of tracking will build momentum and motivate you to keep going. Celebrate small wins. It's easy to overlook the small victories, but they add up over time. Every time you successfully complete your habit, take a moment to celebrate. This will reinforce the positive behavior and motivate you to keep going. Remember, habits take time to form, so be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Forming new habits isn't always easy, and there will be setbacks. When you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Instead, acknowledge it and get back on track. The most important thing is to keep going. Consistency over time is what leads to lasting change. Mastering your habits for a better future. Mastering your habits isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifelong process of continual improvement. As you become more disciplined in one area of your life, you'll naturally want to expand that discipline into other areas. The key is to make incremental changes that move you toward your goals. As you gain control over your habits, you'll begin to notice significant changes in your life. You'll have more energy, more focus, and more clarity. You'll start accomplishing your goals more easily, and you'll feel a sense of pride and satisfaction that comes from mastering yourself. The true power of habits is that they give you control. Control over your time, your energy, and your future. You don't have to rely on external factors to determine your success. You have the ability to create the life you want with the habits you choose to develop. As you continue on your journey of self-improvement, remember that the most important thing is to stay consistent. Your future is being shaped by the habits you form today. Take control of those habits, and you'll be amazed at the person you become and the life you create. The bottom line is this: discipline is everything. And it all begins with your habits. By taking control of your habits, you can shape your future in ways you never thought possible. The power is in your hands. Start today and watch how small, intentional actions lead to monumental change. Chapter 2: Commit to daily actions and watch small wins grow. You've been told time and time again that success doesn't come overnight. But do you really understand what that means? Success is built in the quiet moments, in the daily actions that no one sees. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's about showing up consistently every single day. Think about it. No one becomes great in a single leap. No one wakes up and suddenly has everything figured out. The difference between those who make their dreams a reality and those who don't is one simple thing: daily action. When you commit to daily actions, you are slowly but surely building the foundation of your future. Every small step you take, no matter how insignificant it seems at the time, compounds. You can't see it right away, but in the long run, those small wins become the stepping stones to something much bigger. In this moment, you can change the trajectory of your life. It's in your hands. But you have to commit to taking action every day, no matter how you feel, no matter what obstacles arise. Because those small wins you earn daily, they accumulate into the kind of success most people only dream of. It's easy to get distracted. In today's world, where everything is moving at breakneck speed, where there's an endless stream of new distractions, it's tempting to think that success is about a big moment or a breakthrough. But here's the truth: Success is about committing to daily action. It's the small things that add up, and you have the power to control those small things. Let's break it down. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike you like lightning. Motivation fades. What lasts, what truly makes a difference, is discipline. Discipline to take consistent action, to show up even when you don't feel like it, to keep moving forward when the world tells you to stop. And the beauty of it is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Imagine this, you wake up every day and do just one thing, no matter how small, that gets you closer to your goal. At first, it seems insignificant. It doesn't feel like you're moving the needle much, but over time, something amazing happens. Those small actions, those tiny wins begin to compound. One step, then another, and before you know it, you've crossed a threshold you never thought possible. Think about the first time you learned to ride a bike. At the beginning, it was shaky. You wobbled, you fell, you got frustrated. But each time you got up and tried again, you got a little bit better. Those small actions, those small wins stacked up. Eventually, without even thinking about it, you were riding smoothly, effortlessly. That's how growth works. It's about committing to those small actions day in and day out. Now, I want you to take that concept and apply it to every area of your life. Whether you want to get in shape, start a business, improve your relationships, or learn a new skill, it all starts with daily action. The key is consistency. It's not about doing everything at once, and it's certainly not about being perfect. It's about showing up. But let's be honest, staying consistent is hard. It's so easy to let life get in the way. There's always something else demanding your attention. There's always a new distraction pulling you away from your goals. But here's the truth. Every time you let those distractions win, you're delaying your success. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday. It doesn't matter if you're feeling inspired or exhausted. The key to success is showing up every day without fail. And it's in those moments when you feel like you can't go any further that the true magic happens. Because that's when you push past your limits, when you grow stronger, when you learn the most about yourself. Look at some of the most successful people in the world. Do you think they just got lucky? Or do you think they showed up every day even when things were tough? The common denominator in their success is the commitment to daily action. They didn't wait for motivation to hit them. They created their own momentum by consistently doing the work no matter what. Let's take a step back and think about how we can apply this to your life right now. What's one thing you've been putting off? What's one goal you've been dreaming about but haven't taken action on yet? Think about it. And now, I want you to commit. Commit to taking action no matter how small every single day. This is where most people fail. They think they need to take massive action all at once. They think they need to achieve everything in one grand gesture, but that's a trap. Big actions are intimidating, they feel overwhelming, and they lead to burnout. But small actions, they're manageable. They build confidence. They give you the momentum to keep moving forward. And don't forget, small wins matter. Celebrate them. You don't need to wait for the big wins to feel proud of yourself. Every step you take is progress. Every day you show up is a victory. By recognizing these small wins, you're reinforcing the habit of daily action. And over time, those small wins will become bigger wins. There's something powerful about small wins. They create a sense of accomplishment, which leads to more motivation, which leads to more action. It's a positive cycle that fuels itself. Think about it. Each small win you achieve proves to yourself that you're capable. It shows you that progress is possible. And that belief is the fuel that keeps you going even when things get tough. When you commit to taking daily action, you start to see your life change. The gap between where you are and where you want to be starts to shrink. You begin to build momentum, and momentum is everything. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going. The key is getting started and then continuing to show up every single day. The truth is, we are all capable of greatness. We all have dreams, ambitions, and potential. But it's in the daily actions that we unlock that potential. It's in the small wins that we build the life we want. The only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is your willingness to commit to the daily actions that will get you there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be times when you feel like the progress is too slow, like nothing is changing. But I promise you, if you commit to daily action, if you keep showing up even when you don't see immediate results, you will get there. Because success is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And the journey is made up of the small steps you take every single day. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to your dreams. So today, make a choice. Commit to taking action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Just show up, do the work, and watch as those small wins start to stack up, one after another. You'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. Remember, your future is shaped by the actions you take today, and it all starts with committing to daily action. Make it happen. Chapter 3, build a strong morning routine to set your day. You've been told countless times that the first few hours of your day set the tone for everything that follows. But do you truly understand the power of those moments? Every single day, you have the opportunity to control how you start your morning and, in turn, how you experience the rest of your day. How you wake up, what you do the moment your eyes open, will determine your energy, your mindset, your focus, and even your productivity. So why are so many people wasting this precious window of time? The truth is, if you want to control your life, you have to control your mornings. And that starts with building a morning routine that sets you up for success. Imagine this: you wake up not to chaos or rushed panic, but to purpose and intention. Every movement, every decision in those first moments is deliberate. It's a routine that's not just about getting things done, but about setting the foundation for greatness. When you have a powerful morning routine, you're not just reacting to life, you're driving it forward with focus, clarity, and purpose. But here's the thing, most people don't have a morning routine. They wake up late, rush through the day, feel unorganized, and wonder why things never seem to go right. And when they do try to create a routine, they get discouraged because it feels like there's no time or they just can't get it right. But what if I told you that your mornings could be the key to unlocking everything you've been searching for? What if instead of rushing through your day, you started it with intention and power? The secret is simple. You must build a strong morning routine, one that aligns with your goals, fuels your energy, and primes your mind for success. And here's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't require hours of meditation or a massive time investment. It just takes a commitment to consistently showing up for yourself each and every morning. You're not just setting the tone for the day, you're setting the tone for your entire life. It's in the morning that you decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be the person who rushes, who reacts, who lets life control them? Or are you going to be the person who takes charge, who has the power to shape their day and their future from the moment they wake up? Building a strong morning routine is an act of self-respect. It's an act of self-discipline. It says, I care about my future and I'm willing to take action right now to make it happen. And when you build this routine, you create the momentum to carry you through even the toughest of days. Here's the kicker. The morning routine you create doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be intentional. It has to be something that aligns with your values, your goals, and your desire to show up as the best version of yourself. It doesn't matter if it's a 15-minute routine or a full hour. What matters is that you commit to it and make it part of who you are. The first step in building a strong morning routine is understanding that this isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about creating a system that sets you up for success over the long haul. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't start their days with chaos. They start with purpose. They've learned that the way you begin your morning is the foundation of everything that follows. So how do you build a routine that works for you? How do you design a morning that empowers you and sets you up for the day ahead? First, it's important to understand that your morning routine isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. You're not just checking off a list of tasks. You're building habits that align with your vision for your life. The actions you take in those first few hours shape your mindset, your energy, and your focus. Let's talk about where most people go wrong. They wake up with no clear plan. They hit snooze, get up late, and immediately jump into the whirlwind of distractions, emails, social media, the news. Before they even realize it, their day is off track and they're reacting instead of creating. If that's you, don't worry. It's time to change that. Treat it like an important appointment, because it is. The way you start your morning is the way you're going to move through your day. And if you can make that morning routine something you can count on, you start to notice a massive difference in the way you show up every day. Start simple. When you wake up, don't reach for your phone immediately. Instead, take a moment to be present. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and acknowledge that you've been given another day. This simple moment of gratitude can shift your entire mindset. Instead of jumping into the frenzy of the day, you're grounding yourself in the present moment. Next, hydrate your body. I know it might sound small, but the act of drinking water first thing in the morning does wonders for your energy levels. It wakes up your system, hydrates your cells, and gets your body moving. It's a small action that has a big impact on how you feel. Now think about moving your body. Whether it's stretching, a few yoga poses, a quick walk, or a full workout, getting your body moving in the morning energizes you and releases endorphins. This is where the magic happens. You're waking up not just your mind, but your body too. And once your body is energized, your mind follows suit. Another key aspect of a strong morning routine is setting an intention for the day. What's your goal? What's your focus? Take a moment to visualize your day ahead. Imagine how you want it to unfold. This could be as simple as saying, "Today I will stay focused," or "Today I will be present in every moment." By setting your intention early, you're giving your brain a roadmap for how to approach the day. As you start your morning routine, it's important to stay consistent. You may not feel the full benefits at first, but over time, you'll begin to see a noticeable difference in your energy levels, your focus, and your productivity. The key is repetition. You're building habits that, over time, will compound into something far greater than the sum of their parts. But consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be mornings when you hit snooze, when you don't feel like moving your body, when life gets in the way. That's okay. What matters is that you get back on track the next day. Don't let a missed morning ruin your whole week. Instead, see it as a learning experience. By making your morning routine a priority, you set the tone for the day, and the momentum you build in those first few hours will carry you through the rest of your day. Your routine doesn't need to be long, and it doesn't need to be perfect. But it must be intentional. It must align with your goals and values. It's about taking control of your mornings so you can take control of your life. Here's the thing, when you take charge of your mornings, you take charge of your destiny. You no longer wait for things to happen. You make them happen. You shape your day, your week, and your life by the actions you take in the morning. And that's where the real power lies. So here's your challenge. Start tomorrow. Commit to your morning routine, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Take those first moments of the day and turn them into something that propels you forward. Hydrate, move your body, set your intention, and watch how it transforms your entire day. The world is full of people who wake up and let life happen to them. But you're different. You're going to take control. Your morning routine is your foundation, and from there, everything else falls into place. Start today and see the change for yourself. You have the power. Take it. Chapter 4. Eliminate distractions and sharpen your focus daily. What if I told you that the biggest thing holding you back from your goals isn't a lack of talent, time, or resources, it's distractions? Every single day, you are bombarded with a million things pulling your attention in every direction. Social media, emails, notifications, distractions at work, distractions at home, it's endless. But here's the truth. As long as you allow these distractions to control your focus, you're never going to reach your full potential. Your focus is the most valuable asset you have. It is the key that unlocks your greatest achievements. And yet, it's being stolen from you piece by piece. If you want to break free from this cycle, you need to take control of your focus. You need to eliminate distractions, sharpen your mind, and commit to deep work every single day. Think about this. How often do you sit down to work on something important, only to find yourself scrolling through your phone or getting lost in a conversation you don't even care about? How many times have you set a goal, only to have it fade away because you didn't stay focused long enough to see it through? If you want to win, if you want to break through the noise of daily life and finally achieve your goals, you have to learn how to eliminate distractions and keep your mind sharp. You have to train yourself to focus deeply on the things that matter most, no matter what. Distractions are not just external, they're internal too. Your own mind will try to pull you away from your goals. It will tell you that you're tired, that you deserve a break, that something else is more important. But that's a lie. Your focus is your power, and you need to learn to master it. To truly eliminate distractions, you must first identify what's taking you off course. These distractions come in all shapes and sizes. They can be digital, like the constant ping of notifications or the temptation to check social media. They can also be environmental, like a cluttered workspace or too much noise. But they can also be mental, thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, that you'll never finish what you started, or that it's too late to even try. What's amazing is that once you recognize these distractions for what they are, you can begin to take action to remove them. The first step in eliminating distractions is simple but powerful. You have to make a decision. You have to decide that you are no longer going to let anything or anyone steal your focus. It starts by protecting your time. Time is your most precious resource, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. So how do you protect it? By setting boundaries. Don't let anyone or anything demand your attention unless it's aligned with your priorities. If social media is a distraction, mute your notifications or leave your phone in another room while you work. If your workspace is cluttered, take a few minutes each day to tidy up so that you can focus clearly. Set clear boundaries on how and when you will engage with the outside world and commit to being disciplined about it. But protecting your time isn't just about avoiding distractions, it's also about filling that time with intentional, focused action. Every day, you need to ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do right now? What will move the needle in my life? Once you've identified that task, commit to doing it with complete focus. Don't allow yourself to be interrupted. Don't allow your mind to wander. You must be willing to be uncomfortable, to resist the urge to check your phone or take a break, and to give everything you've got to the task at hand. One of the biggest challenges to maintaining focus is that we live in a world that glorifies multitasking. We've been taught that being busy means being productive, but the truth is, multitasking is just another form of distraction. It's like trying to drive a car while looking in every other direction except the road. You may feel like you're doing a lot, but you're not going anywhere. True focus means dedicating your full attention to one thing at a time. It means saying no to everything else, even if it's hard. Now, let's talk about mental distractions. These are the thoughts that constantly pop into your head and pull you away from your work. Maybe it's a worry about the future, a conversation you had with someone yesterday, or a fear that you're not doing enough. These mental distractions can be just as harmful as external ones. And the truth is, you can't just will them away, you need to actively train your mind to focus on the task at hand. One of the most effective ways to sharpen your mental focus is through mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you how to stay present in the moment, how to notice when your mind starts to wander, and how to gently bring it back to the task. It's not about eliminating distractions completely, it's about becoming more aware of when they show up, so you can redirect your energy where it belongs. You don't need to meditate for hours each day, but setting aside just a few minutes in the morning or before you start your work can do wonders for your focus. This practice of stillness allows you to clear your mind, let go of the mental clutter, and create the mental space necessary for deep, undistracted work. It also helps you develop the self-awareness needed to catch distractions before they hijack your focus. Another powerful tool for sharpening your focus is the concept of deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's a skill that takes time to develop, but once you do, it will radically transform the way you work. To achieve deep work, you need to create a ritual around your focused work sessions. This could mean setting a specific time each day when you work without interruptions, turning off your phone, and creating an environment that is conducive to focus. The longer you stay focused on one task, the sharper your mind becomes. You train your brain to ignore the distractions and focus solely on the work in front of you. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And soon, you'll find that your ability to concentrate for long periods of time increases exponentially. But here's the truth that most people won't tell you: sharpening your focus requires sacrifices. It means saying no to distractions, even if they feel urgent. It means being intentional about how you spend your time. It means creating habits that foster focus and consistency. But if you're willing to put in the work, the rewards are undeniable. When you eliminate distractions and sharpen your focus, you unlock your potential. You begin to operate at a level that most people can only dream of. Your work becomes more meaningful, your progress becomes unstoppable, and your life becomes a reflection of your dedication and commitment. So, here's your challenge. Today, take control of your focus. Identify your biggest distractions, both internal and external, and start eliminating them one by one. Protect your time, set clear boundaries, and commit to deep, focused work. The more you do this, the more you'll see your life transform. Don't wait any longer. Focus is the key to unlocking your greatness, and it's up to you to make that choice. Start now. Stay focused. Watch the transformation happen. Chapter 5. Push through resistance and embrace discomfort for growth. The growth only happens when you step into discomfort. The moment you push through the resistance, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. That uneasy feeling you experience when things get tough? That's the signal that you're on the brink of something great. But here's the truth. Too many people shy away from this discomfort. They retreat, they stop, they settle. But you're different. You're willing to embrace that discomfort, to keep going even when everything inside of you is telling you to quit. We've all been there, haven't we? The moments when every muscle in your body is telling you to stop, the thoughts in your mind screaming, "This is too much, this is too hard." You feel like giving up is the easier choice. But let me tell you this, every time you push through that resistance, every time you choose to rise above the discomfort, you're growing in ways that go beyond the physical. You're building mental fortitude, emotional resilience, and an unshakable belief in yourself. So let me ask you a question. Are you willing to face the discomfort that will lead you to your greatest achievements? Because you don't just learn when you're comfortable. You don't grow when you're sitting back, letting life happen to you. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond what you think is possible. When you break through that resistance that stands between where you are now and where you want to go. The biggest breakthroughs in life come from the places that scare us the most. It's in those moments of resistance that we discover who we truly are. Imagine for a moment, what could you achieve if you stopped running from discomfort? What if, instead of avoiding the difficult paths, you leaned into them, knowing that they would shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable? Most people will tell you to take the easy route, the path of least resistance. They'll say things like, "You've been working hard enough, you deserve a break." And yes, rest is important, but so is pushing yourself. So is doing the things that scare you, the things that challenge you to grow. The real question is, are you willing to endure that discomfort? Are you willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term success? It's easy to want to stop when things get hard. It's easy to feel like you're not cut out for this journey. But the moment you quit, you deny yourself the chance to evolve. You deny yourself the opportunity to become the person you've always wanted to be. It's when you push through the hard times, when you continue in the face of adversity, that you prove to yourself that you are capable of anything. Think about all the great people you admire. The athletes who push their bodies to the limit, the entrepreneurs who work tirelessly to build something from nothing, the artists who sacrifice for their craft. They didn't get there by taking the easy route. They didn't get there by avoiding the tough moments. They got there because they learned how to embrace discomfort. They understood that it wasn't just a part of the process, it was the process. Every time they faced resistance, they leaned into it and grew stronger. Every time they hit a wall, they broke through it. Resistance is not your enemy. It's a signal. It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's telling you that growth is on the other side. But here's the kicker, you're not going to feel ready. You're not going to wake up one day and magically feel like you can take on the world. No, you have to choose to face the discomfort even when you don't feel like it. You have to commit to the process, knowing that the transformation will come with every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every boundary you push past. And let's talk about failure for a moment. Many people are afraid of failing. They think failure is the end of the road. But here's the secret, failure is part of the process. It's not something to fear, but something to embrace. Because failure is simply feedback. It's the universe's way of saying, not this way, try again. And with every failure, you grow, you learn, you get closer to your goal. It's funny, people often think of growth as something soft and gentle. They think it's a smooth, gradual process. But growth is actually messy. It's uncomfortable. It requires you to face your limits and then push beyond them. It's like lifting weights. The muscles tear, they hurt, but they grow stronger as they heal. And that's what you need to understand. You're strengthening your mental and emotional muscles in the process of pushing through discomfort. But the most powerful thing about embracing discomfort is that it builds confidence. Every time you face a challenge and push through it, you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws your way. You become more resilient, more confident, and more certain of your abilities. And that confidence is what fuels you to keep going when others would quit. Think about the last time you felt like giving up. Maybe it was a goal that seemed impossible. Maybe it was a project that felt too big to tackle. But then, something inside of you clicked. You remembered that the only way out was through. So you kept going. And in that moment, you grew. You broke through a barrier you didn't even know was there. And you became someone stronger than you were before. Embracing discomfort isn't easy, but it's the only way to become the person you were meant to be. It's the only way to achieve things that others won't even attempt. Because when you learn to push through the resistance, you gain an edge. You gain a resilience that sets you apart from everyone else. You start to realize that no matter what life throws at you, you have the strength to face it head on. The path to greatness is not a straight line. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. But it's also filled with opportunities to grow, to evolve, and to become something greater than you ever imagined. And it all starts with your willingness to push through the resistance and embrace the discomfort. So, are you ready? Are you ready to stop avoiding the hard work and start embracing it? Are you ready to face the discomfort head on, knowing that every moment you spend pushing through the pain is making you stronger? Because if you can do that, if you can make that decision to embrace discomfort every day, there's nothing in this world that will stop you. The only limits you'll have are the ones you place on yourself. And when you push through resistance, those limits disappear. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the stars to align. The time is now. Embrace the discomfort. Push through the resistance. And watch yourself grow into someone you never thought possible. This is your time. Don't let it slip away. The journey may be hard, but the reward will be worth it. Push through, and the world will open up to you in ways you can't even imagine. Chapter 6. Cultivate consistency and stay true to your purpose. The hardest part of success isn't the grand leap forward. It's the small steps you take every single day. When everyone else is chasing after the shiny new thing, you will find the real power in staying true to your purpose and showing up consistently. Most people give up too soon. They get distracted by the noise, by the things that don't matter. But you have something they don't. You have the power of consistency. And that, my friend, is your edge. Every great achievement in history, from the world's most successful entrepreneurs to the greatest athletes, has been built on one simple truth: consistency. It's the small actions repeated every day that compound over time, creating results that seem almost magical. The path isn't easy. It's not glamorous. It's not filled with instant rewards. But it is the path that leads to lasting success. So how do you cultivate that kind of consistency? How do you keep showing up day after day, even when it feels like nothing is happening? Let me tell you something you already know deep down. The real power comes from persistence. It's when you commit to staying true to your purpose, no matter what, that you start to see the results. But here's the truth. The world that doesn't want you to succeed, it doesn't care if you stay consistent. It will tempt you with distractions, offer you shortcuts, and tell you to take it easy. The journey is long, and sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Every time you choose to stay on course, even when you don't see immediate results, you are building your future. When you feel like giving up, when the world tells you to quit, that's when you must remind yourself, I am not here for instant gratification. I am here for something bigger. I am here for the long haul. Staying true to your purpose is like building a muscle. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes dedication. And just like physical training, there will be moments of pain, doubt, and exhaustion. But it is in those moments that you get stronger. You build your resilience. You prove to yourself that you're capable of achieving what you set out to do, no matter how difficult the road may seem. We live in a world that thrives on instant gratification. The moment we want something, we can get it faster, easier, more conveniently than ever before. But this mindset of immediate results is a trap. It's a trap that keeps you stuck in a cycle of short-term pleasure and long-term frustration. Success doesn't work that way. Greatness isn't achieved overnight. It's achieved through the power of consistency. But staying consistent is hard. You won't always feel motivated. There will be days when you want to quit, when you'll question if it's all worth it. But that's when you must rely on something stronger than motivation: discipline. Discipline is what keeps you going when the motivation fades. Discipline is what can show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. And let me tell you, it's in those days when you don't feel like it that the most growth happens. Because consistency isn't just about doing things when you feel good, it's about doing them when you don't. It's about choosing to be disciplined, even when everything inside of you is telling you to take a break. We all have moments when the journey seems too long, the effort too much. It's easy to look around and see others moving faster, achieving more, and wonder why you're not there yet. But success isn't a race. It's not about how quickly you get there. It's about how much you're willing to endure along the way. Those who win are not the ones who take shortcuts. They're the ones who keep going when the going gets tough. The ones who stay consistent, who continue to push forward with their purpose, regardless of the obstacles. Ask yourself, what's your purpose? What is the reason you wake up every day and put in the work? If you don't have a clear sense of purpose, your consistency will lack direction. It's the deep belief in why you're doing something that fuels your ability to stay on course. Purpose isn't just a nice idea, it's the engine that powers your consistency. Without it, you'll wander aimlessly and you'll give up the moment things get hard. But when you have a purpose that's strong enough to keep you going through the tough times, nothing can stop you. And this is where most people fail. They lose sight of their purpose. They get distracted by the daily grind, by what others are doing, and by what seems easy or popular. They forget why they started in the first place. But you're different. You know that true fulfillment comes from staying connected to your purpose, from sticking to what matters, from finding strength in the daily grind. Success isn't a one-time event. It's a lifestyle, a way of living. And that way of living is rooted in consistency. So, how do you stay consistent day after day? It all starts with building habits that align with your purpose. These habits will form the foundation for everything you do. Whether it's waking up early, working out, or taking time to plan your day, small actions repeated every day will compound into massive results over time. And when you feel your energy waning, when you want to quit, these habits will keep you on track. They'll remind you of your purpose, of why you started, and why it's worth it to keep going. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not about the moments of excitement or the big wins. It's about the quiet, everyday actions. It's about the small steps that you take when no one is watching. And it's in these moments that your true character is built. Because character isn't forged in the easy moments. It's forged in the tough moments, the moments when you're tempted to quit, when you feel like nothing is working, when you're exhausted and want to stop. It's in these moments that you find out who you really are. It's in these moments that you decide to keep going. You can't control everything that happens around you. You can't control how fast others move or whether or not they believe in you. But you can control your actions. You can control your commitment to showing up every day. And that's where your power lies. The more you commit to consistency, the stronger you'll become, the clearer your purpose will be, and the more unstoppable you will be. This is your journey, and the only person you're competing with is yourself. Will you be the person who gives up at the first sign of struggle? Or will you be the person who keeps going, who stays true to their purpose, and who shows up every day no matter what? The choice is yours. Now, I want you to think about something. What would your life look like if you committed to consistency every single day? What if you didn't allow yourself to get distracted by the next shiny thing, the next quick fix? What if you stayed focused on your purpose, no matter how long it took or how hard it got? Can you see it? Can you see yourself accomplishing things you once thought impossible? That's what happens when you choose to stay consistent. It won't always be easy. Some days will be hard. But every day you show up is a victory. Every day you stay true to your purpose is a step closer to your dreams. So make the decision today. Commit to consistency, commit to your purpose, and watch how your life transforms one small step at a time. Stay consistent, stay true, and remember, this is the journey that will lead you to your greatness. Keep going. Chapter 7. Strengthen your willpower through mindful decision-making. What if I told you that every single moment of your life is a battle for control over your mind? The decisions you make in the next few seconds could change the entire course of your future. You are one decision away from breaking free from your old habits and creating a life that reflects your true potential. And it all starts with strengthening your willpower. Willpower isn't something that just magically appears when you need it. It's not an inborn trait. It's a muscle that requires consistent effort, discipline, and mindfulness to grow stronger. The more you cultivate it, the more control you'll have over your choices, and the more power you'll have to shape your reality. When you master willpower, you master yourself. The truth is, you're already facing a constant battle in your daily life. Every decision you make, big or small, is a chance to either move forward or remain stagnant. It's a fight for control over your future. The problem is, many of us are caught in automatic patterns. We react without thinking. We let our emotions or old habits dictate our choices. But you can break that cycle. You have the power to rewire your mind, to step into every moment with intention, and to choose actions that align with your highest goals. Every time you give in to temptation, whether it's skipping a workout, eating something unhealthy, or procrastinating, you're weakening your willpower. Every time you let your emotions take the lead and make decisions for you, you're handing over control of your life. The good news is, you don't have to stay stuck in this cycle. You can strengthen your willpower by becoming more mindful in your decision-making process. The first step is to realize that you are the one in control of every decision. No one can force you to act in a way that goes against your goals unless you let them. It's all about mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being aware of your thoughts and feelings without allowing them to dictate your actions. It's about noticing when your impulses arise and choosing to pause, reflect, and decide what's truly best for you in that moment. Think about it for a moment. How many decisions do you make each day without even thinking about them? How many times do you mindlessly scroll through your phone or let your emotions dictate your actions? What if, instead of acting out of habit, you took a pause, tuned into your inner voice, and made choices that moved you closer to your ultimate goals? This is where your power lies. In every moment, you have the ability to choose. The key is to strengthen your willpower by becoming more mindful of the choices you make. Here's the catch: willpower doesn't work like a switch. You can't just flip it on when you need it. It's something you build over time, one decision at a time. The more you practice mindful decision-making, the stronger your willpower becomes. The more you train yourself to resist the temptation to fall back into old habits, the more control you'll have over your life. But this isn't always easy. Willpower is tested daily. It's tested when you feel tired and don't want to push yourself any further. It's tested when distractions are everywhere and your focus starts to fade. It's tested when your emotions take over and it feels like all your energy is being drained. But this is where the magic happens. This is where you prove to yourself that you are in control. It's in these moments of discomfort, when it feels like giving up would be the easiest thing to do, that you need to dig deep. This is where willpower is forged. The key to strengthening your willpower lies in creating small, manageable habits that don't overwhelm you. When you break down big goals into small, actionable steps, you make it easier to stay consistent and avoid decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is real, and it happens when you have too many decisions to make throughout the day. Each decision drains your mental energy, making it harder to make good choices later on. But when you build healthy habits, you reduce the number of decisions you need to make. You make your future self proud by deciding in advance what you will do, rather than waiting until the last minute and letting your emotions control you. For example, if you want to eat healthier, don't leave it to chance. Plan your meals ahead of time. Create a routine around your eating habits so that when it's time to eat, you don't have to waste energy deciding what to eat. This frees up your mental energy for more important decisions. The more you practice this kind of intentionality, the more you build your willpower muscle. The more you practice making decisions that align with your goals, the easier it becomes to make those decisions in the future. Now, let's talk about your emotional state. One of the biggest challenges to willpower is emotional impulses. When you're tired, frustrated, or stressed, it's easy to give in to unhealthy habits. But emotional regulation is a powerful tool in strengthening willpower. When you practice mindfulness, you're able to step outside your emotions and observe them from a distance. Instead of letting your emotions drive your decisions, you can choose to respond in a way that aligns with your long-term goals. The more you practice this kind of emotional regulation, the stronger your willpower becomes. But don't be fooled, willpower isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about making the right decision more often than not. You're going to slip up. You're going to have moments where you give in to temptation. But that doesn't mean you failed. Willpower is about getting back on track after you stumble. It's about learning from your mistakes and continuing to move forward. The more you focus on progress, not perfection, the stronger your willpower becomes. When you share your goals with someone you trust, you create a sense of responsibility. You're more likely to stick to your commitments when you know someone else is watching. But accountability isn't just about telling others what you're doing, it's also about holding yourself accountable to your own standards. You are the one who ultimately decides whether you stick to your commitments. The more you hold yourself accountable, the stronger your willpower becomes. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen your willpower is through visualization. Visualization is the practice of seeing yourself succeed before you even take action. When you vividly imagine yourself making the right decision, your brain starts to align with that goal. You begin to program your mind to take the necessary steps to achieve your goals. This doesn't mean that everything will magically fall into place, but it does mean that when the time comes to make a decision, your mind will be prepared to choose what's best for you. Visualization is like a mental rehearsal that prepares you for success. Strengthening your willpower isn't about making big, grandiose changes all at once. It's about small, consistent decisions that align with your values and your long-term goals. It's about mindfulness, emotional regulation, and creating habits that support your success. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, and making the choice to keep moving forward. Willpower is the bridge between your goals and your reality. The more you strengthen it, the more you'll be able to accomplish. And as you continue to make mindful decisions, you'll find that your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. So, what are you waiting for? The power is in your hands. Every decision you make is a chance to either build or weaken your willpower. Take one small step, one mindful decision, and watch as your life begins to change. Stay committed to your growth, and remember, you are stronger than you think. Chapter 8. Embrace discipline in the face of uncertainty and doubt. When everything feels uncertain, when doubt creeps in, and when the path ahead seems foggy, that's when true discipline is born. That's when you have the power to rise above the noise, to stay focused, and to keep moving forward even when every part of you is telling you to quit. You see, discipline isn't just about sticking to a routine when things are easy. It's about holding firm when the world seems to be falling apart around you. We've all been there. That moment when you question yourself, when you wonder if it's worth the struggle, when you're unsure if you're even capable of pushing through. But it's precisely in these moments that you have the opportunity to define who you truly are. Your character is forged in the fires of uncertainty. Your willpower is sharpened when you choose to act in the face of doubt. The best part? This is where growth happens. This is where transformation begins. I'm telling you right now, your future self will thank you for the decisions you make today, especially the ones made in moments of uncertainty. When doubt clouds your vision, you have two choices. You can either surrender to fear and give up, or you can embrace the discomfort, embrace the unknown, and stay disciplined no matter what. Understand this: uncertainty is a part of life. It's a constant. It will never go away. So, instead of resisting it, learn how to embrace it. Use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. When you can maintain discipline in the face of uncertainty, you unlock a power within you that most people will never discover. You begin to realize that uncertainty isn't something to fear, it's something to work with. Think about the times in your life when you've been the most uncertain. Maybe it was when you started something new, a business, a relationship, a personal goal. You had no idea how it would turn out. You didn't have all the answers, but you took the first step anyway. And guess what? You didn't get it perfect right away. You stumbled, you doubted yourself, but you kept going. And that's where the magic happens. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about learning how to move forward even when you're not sure of the outcome. This is the essence of discipline. It's the ability to continue taking action even when you don't have all the answers. Discipline is what keeps you showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the path ahead is unclear, and even when the doubts in your mind seem louder than the voice of your potential. Let's talk about doubt for a second. It's normal to doubt yourself. It's normal to feel like you're not good enough, that the odds are against you, or that others are more capable than you. These thoughts are a part of being human. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they deal with those doubts. You can't let doubt control you. Doubt is a thief that steals your energy, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. The key is to recognize doubt for what it is, just a thought, and not let it define you. When you embrace discipline, you create a powerful antidote to doubt. Discipline doesn't care about how you feel in the moment. Discipline isn't concerned with whether or not you're in the mood to work. Discipline is about making a commitment to yourself and sticking to it regardless of what your emotions are telling you. The more you practice discipline, the stronger you become. The more you take action, despite uncertainty, the more you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever thought possible. I know it's not easy. It's never easy, but nothing worth having ever is. It's easy to stay disciplined when things are going well. It's easy to stay on track when you can see the finish line. But the real test comes when you're in the middle of the journey and the road is long and the end is nowhere in sight. That's when the magic of discipline kicks in. Discipline is what keeps you going when you don't have all the answers. It's what keeps you moving forward when the odds seem stacked against you. Let's break it down. How do you build discipline in the face of uncertainty? How do you stay on course when the world is uncertain and filled with distractions? The first step is to recognize that uncertainty is a given. It's not something to avoid, it's something to accept. The sooner you accept that uncertainty will always be a part of the process, the easier it will be to move forward. The more you resist uncertainty, the more power you give it over your life. But when you learn to embrace it, when you accept that you don't have all the answers, you free yourself from the burden of perfection. And that's when true progress happens. Discipline is about taking one step at a time, even when you don't know where the path leads. When you can focus on the present moment, on the task at hand, rather than worrying about the future, you regain control. Instead of obsessing over the unknown, you focus on what you can control right now. This helps you stay grounded, even when everything around you seems up in the air. But it doesn't stop there. To cultivate discipline in the face of uncertainty, you must also develop a strong sense of purpose. Purpose acts as your guiding light. When the road gets tough, when doubt starts creeping in, your purpose is what keeps you anchored. Your purpose reminds you why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. When you have a clear purpose, the struggles you face along the way become less daunting because you're reminded that they're part of the bigger picture. Your purpose gives you direction when everything else feels directionless. It helps you make decisions based on your long-term vision rather than reacting to short-term emotions. The more you strengthen your sense of purpose, the more discipline becomes second nature. Another powerful tool in building discipline is to focus on consistency. Consistency is key even when the results aren't immediately visible. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but true discipline is about showing up every day, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about trusting the process, trusting that your efforts will pay off even if it takes time. Remember this, success is not a straight line. There will be ups and downs. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But in those moments, you have to remember that discipline is what will carry you through. When you keep taking action, even when you don't feel like it, you build the momentum you need to succeed. So how do you keep going when everything feels uncertain? You embrace the discomfort. You accept the fact that uncertainty is a natural part of the process. And you stay disciplined even when the outcome is unclear. Because in the end, it's not about the end result. It's about who you become in the process. Discipline transforms you into someone who doesn't quit, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. Discipline shapes you into someone who stays true to their goals, even when the world around them is in chaos. When you embrace discipline in the face of uncertainty, you don't just survive, you thrive. You develop resilience. You build character. You prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to, no matter how uncertain or difficult the path may seem. Now, here's the question. Will you choose to embrace discipline today? Will you choose to step forward even when you don't have all the answers? The power is in your hands. Every decision you make, every step you take in the face of doubt, will shape the person you become. So let's do it. Let's embrace discipline, let's face uncertainty head on, and let's move forward with purpose. You have everything you need to succeed. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Your future self is waiting for you to step up and claim it. Chapter 9. Take responsibility for every action and choice you make. The moment you take full responsibility for every action, every choice, every mistake, and every victory in your life is the moment you unlock your true power. This isn't a soft truth or something you can push aside. It's the hardest, most freeing thing you can do for yourself. It means you stop blaming others, stop pointing fingers at circumstances, and stop making excuses. It means you own your decisions, your failures, and your successes without hesitation. And here's the thing, until you take full responsibility, you'll never fully embrace the life you deserve. Most people go through life thinking that external circumstances are what determine their outcomes. They blame their upbringing, their job, their relationships, or even the economy for where they are. But the truth is, your circumstances only hold power over you if you let them. The real question is, what are you going to do with the circumstances you've been handed? And the answer is entirely up to you. The power to change your life lies in your ability to make decisions, and with that comes the responsibility to own those decisions. If you can start making decisions and owning them completely without excuses, without justifications, you'll start seeing an extraordinary shift in your life. It's a shift from being a passive participant in your own story to becoming the author of that story. That shift changes everything. Let's be honest here, it's easy to blame others. It's easy to say that someone or something else is to blame for where you are. It's tempting, but this is where growth stops for most people. The moment you choose to point the finger outward is the moment you give away your power. Every time you blame something or someone else, you surrender your control over your own destiny. You let life happen to you instead of you making life happen. The responsibility I'm talking about isn't just about the good decisions. It's about the ones that didn't work out. It's about the failures, the mistakes, and the setbacks. It's about owning every part of your journey. Because here's the reality, even when things go wrong, you still have the power to decide how you respond. You can decide how to grow from failure. You can choose to learn and adapt. But none of that happens if you're stuck in the victim mindset, blaming everything else but yourself. The difference between those who rise to success and those who stay stuck is the ability to take responsibility. I know it sounds simple, but it's hard work. It requires a shift in thinking, a shift from seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance to seeing yourself as the creator of your life. And that's where the real transformation begins. When you take full responsibility, you step into your personal power. You stop waiting for permission. You stop making excuses. You stop wishing for things to change. Instead, you start creating change. And once you realize that your success or failure depends on you, you begin to make choices that align with your goals. Your actions begin to mirror your intentions. And that's when things start to shift. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're blaming yourself for everything. It means you're accepting that you have the power to control how you respond to the situations you face. It's not about perfection. It's about owning your decisions and learning from them. The most successful people in life aren't the ones who make the right choices every time. They're the ones who make the best decisions they can with the information they have, and then take responsibility for them, whether it works out or not. But let me tell you this, when you start owning your decisions, you develop a level of confidence that changes how you approach every challenge in life. The confidence to know that even if something goes wrong, you can handle it. You've got the ability to adjust, adapt, and keep going. Confidence isn't about never failing, it's about knowing that no matter what happens, you're in control of how you handle it. Taking responsibility means looking at the choices you've made and asking, how can I learn from this? What does this teach me? That's the mindset shift that takes you from being reactive to proactive. That's how you start building momentum in your life. Every decision becomes a stepping stone, a lesson in growth. And as you take responsibility for every action you take, you begin to trust yourself more. You start to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. If you look at successful people, you'll see that they all have one thing in common. They own their choices. They don't make excuses for where they are, and they don't waste time blaming other people or circumstances for their failures. Instead, they look at what happened, take responsibility for it, and move forward. They own the outcomes of their decisions. They don't give up. They learn, adapt, and try again. But it's the only way to start changing your life. And let me be clear, this doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own. It doesn't mean you can't ask for help or rely on others for support. But it does mean that you are the one in charge of your life. You are the one who gets to decide how you show up, how you respond, and how you move forward. Think about it. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop waiting for things to change. You stop hoping that someone will come along and fix things for you. You stop wishing for a break or for luck to come your way. Instead, you realize that the power to change your situation has always been in your hands. You are responsible for your mindset. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for your attitude. And if you don't like where you are, you have the ability to change it. But it starts with taking full ownership. It starts with saying, I am the one who controls my destiny. I am the one who creates my future. The beauty of this is that the moment you take responsibility for every action, every choice, you stop waiting for the world to change around you. You start changing from the inside out. And that is the most powerful change you can make. Now I want to challenge you. Ask yourself this: where in your life are you giving away your power? Where are you not fully taking responsibility for your actions, your choices, your results? Are you blaming someone else for where you are? Are you waiting for someone else to change so you can feel better about your situation? Here's the truth. Until you take full responsibility, you'll always feel like something is missing. You'll always feel like you're not in control. But when you take responsibility, when you own every part of your journey, that's when you start stepping into your full potential. That's when you start taking action, not because the world is perfect, but because you've realized that your choices shape your reality. And here's the secret: once you start taking responsibility for every action you make, you'll find that the world around you begins to shift. Opportunities start showing up because you're no longer waiting for someone to hand them to you. You start taking bold actions, making decisions without fear of failure. You begin to create the life you've always wanted, one choice at a time. So, what's the next step for you? Take responsibility for where you are. Take responsibility for every action you've taken, every decision you've made. Don't hide from it. Embrace it, own it. Because once you do, you'll realize that you have everything you need to create the life you want. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of your own future. And that's a powerful place to be. Chapter 10. Break down big goals into small achievable tasks. There's nothing more paralyzing than the thought of a massive goal. It looms over you, an unscalable mountain that feels impossible to conquer. You've probably felt it, the overwhelming pressure of the finish line. You can't even see the miles of work ahead that seem too much to bear. It's easy to feel lost in the enormity of your dreams. But here's the truth: big goals aren't achieved by running up that mountain all at once. They're achieved step by step, piece by piece, one small action at a time. That's the secret. Big goals are not a sprint. They are a collection of small, manageable tasks that you can take on one at a time. The real question is, how do you break down something that feels impossible into something achievable? How do you go from staring at that overwhelming mountain to taking your first confident step forward? It all begins with one powerful realization. Every massive achievement, every breakthrough moment starts with a small action. It's not about tackling everything at once. It's about breaking down your goals into bite-sized tasks that you can execute one after the other. It's about creating momentum and making progress that doesn't feel like an impossible feat. Think about the last time you looked at a goal that seemed too big to handle. Maybe it was writing a book, starting a business, or getting in shape. The very idea of the task felt like too much to bear. But what if, instead of focusing on the entire mountain, you focused on climbing the first step? What if you stopped looking at the peak and just started focusing on the first few feet ahead of you? The secret is in taking the first step, then the next, and the next. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your destination. So instead of getting overwhelmed, look at what you can do today. What is the smallest action you can take that will push you closer to your goal? It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Every bit of progress matters. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. That's a daunting goal, right? You look at that number and the task seems insurmountable. But what if instead of focusing on the 50 pounds, you focused on getting to the gym today, or simply preparing one healthy meal? What if your goal wasn't to lose 50 pounds, but to make healthier choices today? You see, once you break down the goal into smaller, more manageable pieces, it no longer feels like an overwhelming task. You're not tackling the entire mountain in one day, you're simply climbing a few steps, one at a time. And it's the same with any big goal. Whether you want to start a new business, finish a degree, or write a book, breaking the task down into small, achievable parts is the key to progress. Instead of trying to conquer everything in one go, you start with one manageable task. You give yourself permission to make progress, even if it's slow. And that, my friend, is how real success is built. The key to making this work is not only breaking down the big task, but creating a system to track those small tasks. When you can see your progress, even in tiny increments, it builds confidence. It reminds you that you are moving forward, even when it feels like you're not. Every little task accomplished fuels your momentum and makes the larger goal feel more within reach. Take a moment and think about the last time you accomplished something meaningful. Maybe it was a personal project, a promotion at work, or completing a challenge. How did it feel? That feeling of accomplishment didn't come from a single action. It came from a series of small, consistent actions that, when compounded, led to something big. Here's the thing, you don't need to tackle everything at once. You don't need to finish the race in one giant leap. You just need to take one step at a time. And when you break your goals down into small, manageable tasks, you can make steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. This method of approaching your dreams takes away the pressure of needing to do it all right now. It allows you to breathe, to move at your own pace, but still move forward. There's something powerful about breaking down your goals. It's like unraveling a tangled mess into small, individual pieces that are easier to manage. Once you start breaking your goals down into small tasks, you remove the fear and resistance that comes with the thought of a monumental challenge. You've turned something daunting into something doable, and that's what keeps you going. Now let's talk about another critical component of this process: consistency. Breaking down your goals into small tasks is the first step, but consistency is what keeps you on track. If you only break down the goal into manageable pieces but never act on them, nothing will change. It's the daily grind of consistently tackling those small tasks that leads to significant progress. It's the habit of showing up day after day and doing the work no matter how small it may seem. Think of this like building a house. You don't start by constructing the roof. You start by laying the foundation brick by brick. Every small action you take is another brick in the foundation of your dream. And the more bricks you lay, the stronger your foundation becomes, until one day you're standing on top of a house you've built piece by piece. It's easy to get distracted by the end result. We all want instant success. We want to wake up and find that we've already achieved our big goals. But that's not how success works. Success is a series of small wins that compound over time. It's not about immediate gratification. It's about showing up consistently and taking those small actions every day. It's the slow and steady commitment to the process that leads to real results. The power of breaking down big goals into small, achievable tasks is that it gives you the freedom to take one step at a time without the pressure of needing to do everything at once. You no longer need to worry about how far away the finish line is. You only need to focus on the next step. And that's how you make continuous progress toward your dreams. But here's the hard truth. You can break your goals down all you want, but without taking action, nothing will happen. It's easy to get stuck in the planning phase, the thinking about it phase. But nothing changes until you take that first step, and then the next. The power is in the doing. The power is in taking action, no matter how small, and sticking to it, even when things get hard. So how do you start? First, take your big goal and break it into smaller chunks. What are the key tasks you need to accomplish to reach that goal? Once you've broken it down, schedule those tasks into your day, your week, your month. Hold yourself accountable to those actions. Start by focusing on the task at hand, not the overwhelming end result. Keep your focus on the small wins. And then, day by day, task by task, you'll be closer to your goal than you were the day before. The mountain that once seemed impossible will start to feel much more climbable. And before you know it, you'll have reached the summit, not by conquering everything at once, but by taking one step at a time. Remember, big goals aren't about grand gestures or overnight success. They're about steady, consistent action, broken down into manageable tasks. If you can focus on those small actions and keep moving forward, you'll build the momentum needed to reach your biggest goals. The key to success is not in the size of the goal, but in the small, focused actions you take every day to move toward it. So start today. Break your big goal into small tasks and then take that first step. Don't worry about the entire mountain. Just focus on the next step. And soon, that mountain will seem smaller than it ever did before. Chapter 11. Hold yourself accountable and measure your progress. You want to change your life, don't you? You've got the goals, you've got the ambition, but here's the brutal truth. Without accountability, your dreams will remain just the dreams. Action without accountability is like a car with no steering wheel. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. If you want to see real change, you need to hold yourself accountable. Not just in the moments when it's easy, but especially when it's hard, when no one is watching, when it feels like no one cares. That's when your commitment to yourself is tested. That's when the real growth happens. Accountability isn't about someone else forcing you to do the work. It's about taking ownership of your actions and your outcomes. It's about setting standards for yourself and meeting them no matter what. When you hold yourself accountable, you take full responsibility for every choice you make, every action you take, and every result that follows. There are no excuses, no tomorrow. It's now or never. Let me ask you this. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many times have you waited for the right moment or the perfect conditions? But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. The only time you have is now. And accountability means showing up in the here and now, regardless of how you feel or what obstacles are in your way. It's about doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, because you know it's what you need to do to reach your goals. So, how do you hold yourself accountable? How do you keep yourself on track when distractions are everywhere, when life gets tough, and when motivation starts to fade? The answer is simple: measure your progress. This is the key that most people overlook. When you measure your progress, you turn your goal into something tangible. You can see where you're going and whether you're on track. Without measuring progress, it's easy to get lost. You're just hoping and wishing with no clear way to assess where you stand. When you break down your big goals into smaller tasks, as we've already discussed, you give yourself clear markers to track. These markers become your measuring tools. Every small step you take is something measurable, something you can see moving forward. This is how you hold yourself accountable. You don't just hope you're making progress, you know you are because you can see the evidence in front of you. Measuring progress isn't just about keeping track of the tasks you've completed. It's about assessing the quality of your actions. Are you staying consistent? Are you improving, even if only by a little each day? Are you learning and evolving, or are you stuck in old patterns? When you measure your progress in this way, you make sure that every action you take is purposeful. It's not just about moving for the sake of moving, it's about moving towards something meaningful. And when you can see the fruits of your labor, you'll have the motivation to keep going. But let me be clear, measuring progress isn't about perfection. It's not about comparing yourself to someone else or beating yourself up when you miss a day or make a mistake. It's about evaluating where you are in relation to where you started and where you want to go. It's about being honest with yourself, celebrating the wins, and learning from the losses. It's about making sure that every day you are moving closer to your goal, no matter how small the step may seem. It's easy to get discouraged if you're not seeing immediate results, but that's where consistency comes in. You see, the most successful people aren't the ones who never fail or make mistakes. They're the ones who keep going even when they don't see the results right away. Success is a game of endurance, of pushing through when it feels like progress is slow. Measuring your progress helps you keep going because it shows you that even the smallest steps are moving you forward. Even when you can't see the immediate impact of your actions, you're still on track. Now, let's talk about something that can make accountability even more powerful, making your progress visible to others. When you share your goals and progress with someone you trust, you make yourself accountable to them. This external accountability can be a powerful motivator. It adds a layer of responsibility that makes you less likely to give up or make excuses. But even more importantly, sharing your progress allows you to get feedback. Feedback helps you course correct. It helps you see where you're succeeding and where you might need to adjust. Of course, external accountability isn't always necessary, especially if you've developed the discipline to hold yourself accountable. But even if you choose to keep your journey private, the most important thing is that you're measuring your progress regularly. Without it, you're wandering aimlessly. Without accountability, you're just hoping things will work out. But with clear, measurable progress, you are actively shaping your future one action at a time. But how do you make sure you stay consistent with measuring your progress? How do you keep yourself from slipping into old habits and giving up? The key is to create a system. A system that works for you, that integrates accountability into your everyday life. This might mean setting up a daily routine for reviewing your progress, using a journal to track your wins and losses, or creating a vision board that reminds you of your goals. It might mean scheduling regular check-ins with a mentor or accountability partner. Whatever system works for you, make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Hold yourself accountable to that system, and it will hold you accountable to your goals. But here's the thing, even with a system in place, there will be times when you slip up, when you lose your momentum, or when life throws obstacles in your path. That's normal. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people don't let setbacks define them. They don't let one bad day derail their entire journey. Instead, they use setbacks as learning opportunities. They adjust their approach, they learn from their mistakes, and they keep moving forward. Holding yourself accountable means accepting full responsibility, not just for your successes, but for your failures as well. When you fail, don't look for excuses or blame others. Look at yourself. Ask yourself what you could have done differently. What can you learn from this? How can you adjust your strategy to keep moving forward? This level of honesty with yourself is what separates the dreamers from the doers. And let me be clear, accountability is not a punishment. It's a tool for growth. It's a way of making sure you're doing what you said you'd do. And when you hold yourself accountable, you can look back and be proud of the progress you've made, knowing that you did the work, no matter how hard it got. The most successful people in the world are where they are because they held themselves accountable, day in and day out. They didn't let excuses or setbacks hold them back. They kept moving and they kept measuring their progress, making sure they were on the right track. And you can do the same. So let me ask you, how will you hold yourself accountable today? What measurable steps will you take to ensure that you are on the right path? Will you track your progress every day? Will you stay committed to your system, even when it's hard? Your future is in your hands, and the only way to shape it is by holding yourself accountable. No one can do this for you. You are the only one who can push yourself to greatness. The road to success isn't easy. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But if you hold yourself accountable, if you measure your progress consistently, you will keep moving forward. And one day, you'll look back and realize that you've crossed the line you once thought was impossible. You'll see that every step you took, every decision you made, brought you closer to your goals. And that, my friend, is the power of accountability. Now, go ahead. Take the first step. Track your progress. Hold yourself accountable. Your success is waiting, and it starts with you. Chapter 12, choose persistence over perfection in every pursuit. It's a trap that keeps you stuck, paralyzed by fear, while life passes you by. But persistence is real. Persistence is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. If you want to succeed, you must choose persistence over perfection every single time. I know what you're thinking, but I want to do it right. I want it to be flawless. I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time or making mistakes. Well, I get it. We've all been there. But here's the harsh truth. Perfection doesn't exist, and waiting for it only leads to regret. The longer you wait for the perfect moment, the more time you waste. The longer you try to make everything just right, the further you move from your goals. Let me ask you, how many of your dreams have you put off because you thought you weren't ready yet? How many projects, ideas, or opportunities have you hesitated to take on because you wanted everything to line up perfectly? The reality is, perfect conditions never come. But there's one thing you can always control, your ability to persist. Persistence means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It means continuing to work toward your goal, even when you encounter setbacks or failures. It means pushing through the discomfort, the doubt, the fear, and the frustration. It means accepting that mistakes are part of the process, but they don't define you. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize, even when the path isn't clear. You've heard the saying, fail forward, right? Well, it's true. Perfectionism will keep you stuck, but persistence will get you where you want to go. Every failure is a lesson. Every misstep is a stepping stone toward growth. But if you're waiting for things to be flawless before you take action, you'll never take that first step. And without that first step, you'll never get anywhere. There's an incredible power in persistence and continuing to move forward even when the end isn't in sight. It's not about making the perfect choice every time. It's about consistently making decisions, taking action, and learning from those decisions along the way. You are constantly evolving, and with every action you take, you get closer to the person you want to become. So, how do you choose persistence over perfection? How do you embrace the journey without being paralyzed by the fear of failure or imperfection? Start by accepting that mistakes are part of the process. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you'll never learn. But if you embrace the fact that mistakes will happen, you'll start to see them as opportunities to grow, not obstacles to avoid. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is learning to keep going no matter what. This doesn't mean pushing yourself into burnout or ignoring your well-being. It means showing up even when it's hard. It means doing the work even when you don't have all the answers. It means taking the next step even if you don't know exactly where it will lead. But I know what you're thinking now. What if I keep pushing and I fail anyway? Here's the thing, failure is inevitable. In fact, the most successful people have failed the most. It's not the failure that matters, it's how you respond to it. Persistence doesn't mean you won't face difficulties, it means you don't let those difficulties stop you. It means you get back up, learn from the experience, and keep going. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. It's easy to think that you're not good enough or that you'll never make it. But remember this, you are your biggest obstacle. If you allow your own doubts and fears to dictate your actions, you'll never break free from them. When you embrace persistence over perfection, you stop allowing fear to control you. You take charge of your future by taking action, regardless of how perfect or imperfect that action may be. Persistence is what keeps you going when the initial excitement fades. It's what gets you through the tough days, the moments when it feels like progress is non-existent. Progress isn't always visible, but it's happening every time you push through a challenge, learn from a mistake, and get back to work. When you embrace persistence, you begin to trust that the effort you put in today will pay off in the long run. But here's another secret. Persistence is not about brute force. It's about being smart with your efforts. It's about finding the rhythm that works for you and sticking to it even when things get tough. There will be days when the motivation isn't there. There will be days when it feels like you're running on empty. But if you have a clear purpose and a commitment to progress, you'll find the strength to keep moving forward. You see, it's not about getting everything right from the start. It's about building momentum. And momentum is built by taking consistent action. If you start small but stay consistent, you will see results. It doesn't matter how many times you fall or how many mistakes you make. It matters how many times you get back up and keep going. And here's the truth. Persistence will get you further than perfection ever could. Perfect actions are often the result of procrastination and fear. They keep you stuck in the planning phase, never truly moving forward. But persistent actions, even imperfect ones, will push you out of your comfort zone and into progress. You will learn, grow, and evolve through each action you take, regardless of how perfect it is. If you make a mistake, learn from it. If you stumble, get back up. If you fail, use that failure as fuel to drive you forward. The key is to keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. The pursuit of perfection can drain you, but the pursuit of progress, no matter how imperfect, will energize you. You're on a journey, and that journey is far more important than the destination. So let go of the need to get everything right. Let go of the fear that holds you back from taking action. Let go of the idea that things need to be perfect for you to be successful. The truth is, you're already enough. And if you choose persistence over perfection, you will find that success comes not from flawless execution, but from the strength to keep going no matter what. So today, right now, make a commitment to yourself. Commit to persistence. Commit to showing up even when it's hard. Commit to taking imperfect action, knowing that every step, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goals. Let go of the pressure to be perfect and instead focus on making progress. Because persistence is what will carry you to the finish line, and it's what will make you stronger, wiser, and more capable than you've ever imagined. It's time to embrace your journey, perfect or imperfect. Choose persistence over perfection and watch your life transform. Chapter 13. Develop mental toughness to face challenges head-on. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you believe. But to unleash that strength, you must first develop the mental toughness that will carry you through life's toughest challenges. The kind of mental toughness that doesn't flinch in the face of adversity, that doesn't cower when the odds are stacked against you. You see, mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And when you build it, nothing can stand in your way. Let me tell you something most people don't understand. Toughness is not about how hard you can punch or how loud you can roar. It's about how well you can handle life's blows. It's about being knocked down and getting back up time and time again. The real measure of your mental strength is not how often you succeed, but how quickly you recover when life tries to knock you out. You felt it. That moment when everything feels too heavy. When the weight of your goals, your responsibilities, and your dreams seem impossible to bear. It's in those moments that your true character is revealed. It's easy to stand tall when everything's going well. But how do you react when things fall apart? When things are not just hard, but seemingly impossible? When the world feels like it's closing in on you, how do you respond? Mental toughness is not some magical trait that a select few are born with. It is a muscle that you build. A muscle that grows every time you face a setback, every time you endure pain, every time you push past your comfort zone. You are forging your resilience with every challenge you face. The more you face, the stronger you get. But you must first learn that challenges are not your enemies, they are your training ground. Too many people see obstacles as signs to quit. They see a wall, and instead of climbing it, they give up. But if you want to achieve anything worth achieving, you need to change the way you view obstacles. You need to look at every challenge as an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Think about the most successful people in the world, the ones who have achieved greatness. They didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They got there because they faced them head-on. They didn't see hardships as reasons to quit, they saw them as opportunities to grow. They built their mental toughness through perseverance, through facing adversity with courage, and through pushing themselves when everyone else would have given up. I know it's easy to feel overwhelmed when life feels like it's throwing everything at you at once. It's easy to feel like you're losing control. But here's the truth. Mental toughness is all about control. It's about controlling your mind, controlling your emotions, and controlling how you respond to the challenges life throws at you. When you take control of your mindset, you take control of your life. But this takes practice. Just like you can't become physically fit by lifting weights for a day or two, you can't develop mental toughness in a week. It takes time, consistency, and a willingness to face discomfort. It takes understanding that discomfort is not the enemy, it's the teacher. You'll face failures. You'll experience disappointment. But every time you fail, every time you feel like quitting, you have a choice. Will you give up or will you push through? Would you let the challenge define you, or would you define your response to the challenge? Here's where the magic happens. When you keep going even when it's hard, when you persist in the face of adversity, you change. You grow stronger. You build resilience. You develop mental toughness. You show yourself that you are capable of handling more than you ever thought possible. And when you prove that to yourself, you become unstoppable. But this journey isn't about being perfect. It's not about being strong all the time. It's about being human. It's about knowing that sometimes you'll stumble, sometimes you'll falter. But mental toughness is about getting up every single time. It's about realizing that setbacks are temporary, but your strength is permanent if you choose to nurture it. A key part of developing mental toughness is learning to control your emotions. Your emotions can either be your greatest asset or your greatest liability. When you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you become a slave to them. But when you learn to control your emotions, when you learn to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly when things are chaotic, that's when you tap into your true power. And I know that sounds easier said than done. When you're in the midst of a crisis, it's easy to let fear, anger, or frustration take over. But it's in those moments that your mental toughness matters most. When you can remain calm, you gain clarity. And when you have clarity, you can make the best decisions. You can take control rather than letting the situation control you. Another important factor in mental toughness is perspective. How you view a situation can make all the difference. When things go wrong, it's easy to get caught up in the negative. It's easy to fall into self-pity and ask, why me? But mentally tough people don't ask why me. They ask, what can I learn from this? They see every challenge as an opportunity to grow, not as a sign of failure. That's the mindset shift that will change everything for you. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, focus on what you can control. Focus on how you can respond. Focus on the lessons you can learn. When you do that, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your own future. It's also about persistence. Mental toughness is built over time, and it's built by showing up every day, even when things are hard. It's not about making giant leaps every day. It's about making consistent progress. And the more consistent you are, the stronger your mental toughness becomes. And let's talk about self-belief for a moment. Mental toughness is not about having an ego. It's about having faith in yourself. It's about trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about knowing that no matter how difficult things get, you will find a way through. That belief in yourself becomes your armor, your shield, your source of strength when life tries to break you. There's a quote that says, "You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training." And that's true for mental toughness. When life challenges you, it's not the big dramatic moments that define you, it's the small moments of resilience that build your strength over time. It's the little decisions you make every day to keep going, to push through the tough times, to stay calm, and to maintain your faith in yourself. So, what do you need to do today to build your mental toughness? Start by facing your fears. Start by leaning into discomfort. Start by refusing to let setbacks define you. And most importantly, start by choosing to believe in yourself. You have everything you need to handle whatever comes your way. You just need to trust yourself and take the next step forward. As you build your mental toughness, you will become unstoppable. You will face challenges with courage. You will rise above adversity with strength. And most importantly, you will never quit. You will always keep moving forward because that's what mentally tough people do. They face the storms head on and they come out stronger on the other side. So today, take one step towards mental toughness, one step towards believing in yourself, one step towards becoming the strongest version of yourself that you've ever known. Your future self is waiting for you to rise up and become who you were always meant to be. Chapter 14, train your mind to stay calm under pressure. In the most intense, high-pressure moments of your life, how do you respond? Do you crumble or do you rise? Can you stay calm when the world around you seems to be falling apart? The ability to stay calm under pressure isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. It's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who burn out when the heat gets turned up. And I'm here to tell you that you can cultivate that superpower no matter who you are or what you've been through. Think about the last time you faced pressure. Maybe it was a tough decision at work, a critical conversation in your personal life, or a situation where everything seemed to be riding on your next move. How did you feel? The anxiety, the sweat, the racing heart, the overwhelming urge to just do something, anything, to make it stop. But I want you to realize something powerful. That pressure, that discomfort, is your mind's way of telling you you're growing. And it's also an invitation to master yourself. Because staying calm under pressure doesn't just happen. It's something you practice over and over again in the smallest moments and the biggest challenges. It's about training your mind to focus on what's in your control and letting go of everything else. It's about developing a deep sense of inner peace that remains unshaken no matter what the external world throws at you. Now, I know that's easier said than done. In fact, I know that the moment you're facing pressure, everything inside you wants to act impulsively. You want to shout, react, do something to relieve the stress. But think about this for a moment. What happens when you act without thinking? How often do those decisions lead to regret, confusion, or deeper problems? You know it happens far too often. That's the danger of not being able to stay calm under pressure. Here's the truth. The people who succeed in the most stressful situations aren't always the ones with the most talent. They aren't the ones who have all the answers. They are the ones who have learned to remain calm, to think clearly, and to make decisions with a steady hand, even when everything around them is chaos. So how do you develop this superpower? It starts with a shift in how you approach stress. Most people see pressure as something to avoid. They try to run from it, push it away, or wish it would just disappear. But the truth is, pressure is a part of life. It's never going away. And when you learn how to embrace it, when you learn to breathe through it, to acknowledge it, and to use it, you tap into something that very few people ever experience. The first step is to understand that pressure isn't your enemy. The pressure you feel is simply your body and mind reacting to a situation. It's your inner alarm system going off, telling you that you're about to face something important. It's a signal that you're about to grow, and growing can be uncomfortable. So instead of fearing it, instead of panicking when it hits, learn to welcome it. When you feel the weight of pressure bearing down on you, your first instinct might be to fight against it. You might want to ignore it or wish it away. But in those moments, you have to pause. You have to breathe. The ability to pause before reacting is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. In that pause, you create space for clarity. You create the opportunity to make a decision from a place of calm, not chaos. This is why mindfulness is so important in high-pressure situations. Mindfulness isn't some vague idea of being present. It's the art of focusing on the moment, of tuning into your breath, your thoughts, and your feelings without getting overwhelmed by them. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you can return to a calm state, even in the most stressful situations. It's like a mental reset button that you can hit anytime you feel the pressure building. But it's not just about breathing, it's about controlling your thoughts. When pressure hits, your mind will often start running wild. It will go into overdrive, thinking of worst-case scenarios, ruminating on past mistakes, or worrying about the future. This is where you need to take charge. You need to consciously redirect your thoughts. Focus on the task at hand. Focus on what you can control. And if you can't control something, let it go. The more you practice this, the easier it will become to remain centered when the world is spinning around you. One powerful tool for staying calm under pressure is visualization. Imagine yourself facing a high-pressure situation, whether it's a challenging conversation, a high-stakes meeting, or any moment that makes you nervous. Now, visualize yourself staying calm, composed, and confident. Picture yourself breathing deeply, taking clear action, and handling everything with ease. The more you visualize calmness and clarity, the more you train your mind to respond that way when the real moment arrives. But training yourself to stay calm under pressure isn't just about techniques. It's also about building self-confidence. Confidence comes from knowing that you faced tough situations before and emerged stronger. When you've overcome adversity in the past, you know that you have the strength to face whatever comes next. The more you prove to yourself that you can handle pressure, the less you'll fear it. And that, my friend, is true power. Another critical component of staying calm is perspective. When things feel overwhelming, it's easy to make the problem seem bigger than it is. You catastrophize, thinking that everything is at stake. But what if, instead of seeing the pressure as a life or death moment, you saw it for what it really is, a challenge to overcome, an opportunity to grow? When you reframe the situation, you free yourself from the panic and the fear. You give yourself the space to think clearly and make better decisions. The final element of staying calm under pressure is practice. You cannot expect to stay calm in a major crisis if you haven't first practiced in smaller, everyday moments. Start small. Next time you face a stressful situation, take a deep breath, pause, and remind yourself that you are in control. Whether it's a stressful meeting at work, an argument with a loved one, or just a busy day with a lot on your plate, practice staying calm. Build that mental muscle, and it will grow stronger over time. You see, the difference between those who thrive under pressure and those who buckle is simple. The ones who thrive have developed the ability to stay calm, to think clearly, and to act from a place of strength. They don't panic when things go wrong. They don't get overwhelmed when the pressure builds. Instead, they stand tall, take a deep breath, and make their next move with confidence. The pressure is inevitable. It's not something you can avoid. But how you handle it, that's up to you. And when you train yourself to stay calm under pressure, you are no longer at the mercy of the world around you. You become the one who shapes the outcome. You become the one who shapes the outcome. You become the calm in the storm. You become unstoppable. So what are you waiting for? The next time pressure comes knocking, don't run from it. Embrace it. Train yourself to stay calm, to breathe, to think clearly, and to take control. With every moment you practice this, you are building the strength to face any challenge that comes your way. And as you do, you'll find that you can handle anything life throws at you. You'll find that calmness isn't just a state of mind, it's your greatest weapon. Now, it's your turn to act. Start today. Breathe through your challenges. Train your mind to stay calm. and watch as you transform into someone who thrives under pressure, someone who doesn't just survive but conquers. Chapter 15. Surround yourself with individuals who support your discipline. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. Who are you surrounding yourself with right now? Are they pushing you toward your goals, or are they dragging you further from your purpose? The truth is, the people around you have a profound impact on your discipline, your mindset, and ultimately your success. Surrounding yourself with individuals who support your discipline isn't just important, it's essential. Have you ever noticed how certain people just seem to drain your energy? How the moment you're around them, you find yourself questioning your focus, your intentions, your very path. It's not just a coincidence. The people in your life either fuel your ambition or extinguish it. They either lift you up or pull you down. Now think about the opposite. Think about the people who encourage you to keep going, the ones who push you to be better, who challenge you to show up every day and give your best. Those people, they are worth their weight in gold because they help you stay disciplined. They help you stay consistent. They make sure you never lose sight of your purpose, especially on the tough days when you feel like giving up. Let me tell you something, your environment is everything. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in your goals, who don't support your discipline, or who constantly try to pull you back into old habits, you're going to struggle. You can't soar when you're surrounded by people who don't understand the heights you're trying to reach. It's time to take a hard look at your circle. Are they fueling your growth, or are they silently sabotaging it with their negativity, their lack of ambition, and their indifference to your progress? When you surround yourself with individuals who don't share your values, who don't understand your goals, you're essentially inviting resistance into your life. And resistance is the enemy of discipline. But here's the thing, you have control. You have the power to choose who you spend your time with. You have the ability to create an environment that supports your discipline and pushes you toward your best self. You don't need to settle for relationships that undermine your focus. You don't have to stay in friendships that drain your energy. You can intentionally curate your circle to ensure that the people around you are helping, not hindering, your success. Let's break it down. What does it really mean to surround yourself with individuals who support your discipline? It means finding people who don't just encourage you to follow through, they hold you accountable. They are the ones who ask you about your goals, who check in on your progress, and who don't let you off the hook when you start slacking off. They don't let you make excuses. They challenge you to be better, to be more disciplined, to keep moving forward even when it's uncomfortable. Think about the last time you were held accountable. How did it feel? It probably wasn't easy. It probably didn't feel like sunshine and rainbows, but deep down, you know it was necessary. You know that the growth you're striving for doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the push, the nudge that comes from others who care about your success as much as you do. But this isn't just about accountability. It's about surrounding yourself with people who share your values. People who believe in the importance of hard work, consistency, and delayed gratification. People who understand the value of discipline and don't shy away from it. These are the people who won't judge you when you wake up early to work on your goals instead of sleeping in. They won't laugh when you turn down an invitation to go out because you're focused on something more important. They'll respect your commitment and admire your focus. And just as important, the people around you should be those who bring out the best in you. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who push you to be better, the ones who model the kind of discipline you're trying to cultivate. These are the people who motivate you to show up every day and do the work. They lead by example, and their own discipline serves as a beacon for your own journey. You see, discipline is contagious. When you're surrounded by people who consistently show up, who don't let excuses stop them, who push through obstacles with determination, that energy becomes infectious. You can't help but adopt their mindset. You can't help but rise to the occasion. And the more you surround yourself with individuals who support your discipline, the more you'll start to see the fruits of your own efforts. But let's take it one step further. It's not just about people who are supportive, it's about people who challenge you to go further than you thought possible. These are the individuals who refuse to let you settle. They're the ones who see your potential before you do, and they won't let you ignore it. They're the ones who push you to level up, who won't let you get comfortable in mediocrity. And when you surround yourself with people like this, you can't help but rise to meet their expectations. And here's the kicker, your support system should be a mirror for your own discipline. It should reflect the values you want to cultivate in yourself. If you want to be disciplined, you need to surround yourself with people who demonstrate discipline in their own lives. If you want to be consistent, find people who show up every day, no matter the circumstances. If you want to be focused, surround yourself with individuals who prioritize their goals above all else. The people you choose to spend time with should embody the qualities you want to develop. Of course, this doesn't mean you need to surround yourself with perfection. Everyone is on their own journey and no one is flawless. But the key is that your circle should be made up of people who inspire you to keep improving, to keep showing up, and to keep being disciplined. They should be people who understand that growth is a process and who are committed to helping you reach your highest potential. But here's the hard truth. Sometimes the hardest part of surrounding yourself with individuals who support your discipline is letting go of the ones who don't. It's not easy, but it's necessary. If there are people in your life who constantly undermine your goals, who encourage bad habits, or who make you feel guilty for prioritizing your success, it might be time to distance yourself from them. I know it's not simple, but you have to protect your energy and your discipline. You can't afford to allow toxic relationships to derail your focus. And it's not just about cutting people out, it's about consciously choosing to invest in relationships that nurture your growth. Seek out individuals who inspire you, who challenge you, and who hold you accountable. Join communities, groups, or circles of people who are striving for the same level of discipline you are. These people will become the ones who not only support you, they'll become the ones who push you to do the impossible. This is the power of your environment. When you surround yourself with people who support your discipline, you make it easier to stay on track. You make it harder to give in to distractions, to procrastinate, or to quit when things get tough. You align yourself with individuals who believe in your vision as much as you do. You create a world where growth is inevitable and success is a natural outcome of the effort you put in every day. So, take a moment to think about the people in your life. Who are you spending your time with? Are they helping you move closer to your goals, or are they slowing you down? The choice is yours. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to be intentional about who you surround yourself with. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, support you, and help you stay disciplined. It's time to take control of your environment. It's time to build a support system that will push you to new heights. Because the people you surround yourself with will either be the wind beneath your wings or the anchor that holds you back. Choose wisely. Choose those who lift you up, who inspire your discipline, and who help you reach the greatness that's waiting for you. The right people are out there. And when you find them, you'll find that discipline becomes second nature and success becomes inevitable. Chapter 16, prioritize your health and energy for peak performance. Your body is not just a vessel to carry you through life, it's the engine that fuels your dreams. If you want to achieve peak performance, you have to prioritize your health and energy as much as you prioritize your goals. Without the right fuel, without the proper maintenance, your drive, your focus, and your productivity will slowly wither away. You can't outwork exhaustion. You can't outrun poor health. So what are you doing today to ensure that your body is performing at its best? If you think you can push through your days without considering how your health impacts everything else, you're setting yourself up for failure. It doesn't matter how much willpower you have, how many hours you're putting in, or how many tasks you're crossing off your to-do list. If your body isn't in the best shape possible, your mind won't be either. And if your mind isn't at its best, you're going to struggle to execute on your highest potential. But here's the good news, you have the power to change that. Every single day, you can make choices that will elevate your energy and health. You can turn your body into a powerhouse, capable of supporting everything you want to accomplish. But it takes effort, it takes commitment, and it requires you to prioritize your health above all else. You might be thinking, I'm too busy for that. I don't have time to focus on my health. I need to keep pushing. And I get it. We live in a world that worships productivity, where hustle is king. But let me be clear. Without energy, without health, all the hustle in the world won't get you far. If you're constantly running on fumes, you're not going to sustain the kind of performance that will take you to the next level. You'll burn out. You'll get stuck in a cycle of fatigue and stress that keeps you from reaching your potential. Imagine this. You wake up feeling fully rested, energized, and ready to take on the day. Your mind is sharp, your body feels strong, and you're ready to execute on your goals with intensity and focus. What would that look like for you? How much more could you accomplish if you had the energy to match your ambition? The truth is, you can have that. You can wake up feeling like you're operating at 100%, but only if you prioritize your health and energy. So what does it mean to prioritize your health? It's more than just working out or eating right. It's about treating your body with the respect it deserves. It's about understanding that your physical well-being is the foundation for everything else in your life. It's about fueling your body with the right foods, giving it the exercise it needs, and making sure you're getting enough sleep to recharge your batteries. But here's where most people get it wrong. They treat health like an afterthought. They put their work, their goals, and their ambitions above their physical well-being. And while ambition is important, if you're not giving your body the care it needs, you won't be able to sustain that ambition in the long run. You might be able to push through for a while, but eventually you'll crash, and that crash could be devastating to your progress. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you took a step back and assessed your health? When was the last time you looked at how your energy levels are affecting your ability to perform at your best? If you're being honest with yourself, you might realize that you've been neglecting your body for far too long. Maybe you've been skipping meals, not getting enough sleep, or pushing yourself too hard without giving yourself the recovery time you need. But here's the thing, it's never too late to change. Right now, you can start making small, simple adjustments that will radically improve your energy and health. The first step is to listen to your body. Your body is constantly sending you signals about what it needs. Are you tired? Are you feeling sluggish? Are you noticing aches or pains that are holding you back? These are all signs that something needs to change. But too often, we ignore these signals in the name of productivity. We push through, ignoring the warnings until we hit a breaking point. But by then, it's too late. Your body is exhausted, your mind is clouded, and your performance is suffering. Instead of waiting for that breaking point, start making small changes now. Begin with your diet. If you're fueling your body with junk food, processed sugars, and empty calories, don't expect to have the energy you need to perform at your best. Instead, focus on nourishing your body with whole foods, foods that will give you sustained energy, not the quick spikes and crashes of sugar and caffeine. Think lean proteins, whole grains, healthy fats, and plenty of fruits and vegetables. These foods will not only support your physical health, but will also fuel your mind, keeping you sharp and focused throughout the day. But food alone won't do it. Exercise is another critical piece of the puzzle. You don't have to be an athlete or spend hours in the gym to get the benefits. Even a few minutes of physical activity every day can have a profound impact on your energy levels. Regular exercise improves circulation, boosts your metabolism, and releases endorphins, all of which contribute to better physical and mental performance. It's about finding something you enjoy, whether it's walking, running, weightlifting, yoga, or dancing, and making it a consistent part of your routine. You don't have to kill yourself at the gym, but you do need to move your body in a way that keeps it strong and healthy. And then there's sleep. If you're not getting enough rest, none of this matters. Sleep is when your body recovers, repairs itself, and recharges its energy reserves. Without sufficient sleep, your cognitive function suffers, your mood dips, and your ability to perform at a high level plummets. So if you're sacrificing sleep to get more done, you're making a huge mistake. Prioritize sleep as much as you prioritize work. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night and watch how your energy and performance improve. But it's not just about physical health, it's about mental health too. If your mind is constantly cluttered with stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts, it doesn't matter how well you take care of your body. You need to prioritize mental well-being just as much as physical well-being. Start by incorporating mindfulness practices into your daily routine. Meditation, journaling, and deep breathing exercises can help clear your mind, reduce stress, and increase focus. When your mind is clear, your energy flows more freely, and you can show up with a level of clarity and determination that will drive your performance to new heights. When you prioritize your health, you're not just taking care of your body, you're giving yourself the gift of energy. You're giving yourself the capacity to perform at your highest level, to execute on your goals, and to show up every day with the vitality and focus needed to succeed. And that's what peak performance is all about. It's about being the best version of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's about showing up every day with the energy, clarity, and focus you need to crush your goals. You might be thinking, I don't have time to focus on my health. I'm too busy working, chasing my dreams. Without energy, your work will suffer. Without health, your performance will suffer. If you're running on empty, you'll never be able to reach your full potential. So stop making excuses and start investing in your health today. The effort you put into your physical well-being will pay off tenfold in every area of your life. It's time to take control of your energy. It's time to treat your body as the powerhouse it was meant to be. Prioritize your health, fuel your energy, and watch how your performance reaches new heights. Because when you take care of yourself, there's nothing you can't achieve. Chapter 17. Overcome procrastination by acting immediately and decisively. Procrastination is not just about putting things off. It's the silent killer of dreams. Every moment you delay is a moment you could be closer to your goal, but instead, you're stuck in a cycle of I'll do it later. That small decision to delay has a snowball effect, robbing you of time, energy, and focus. The truth is, procrastination doesn't just steal time, it steals your potential. So, how do you break free from it? The answer is simple: you act immediately. I know what you're thinking, it's easier said than done. Procrastination is a habit I've built over years. How can I just flip a switch and change it? But here's the thing, change doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it's the smallest action, the smallest decision, that creates the most significant shifts. So what if I told you that you can break free from procrastination by just taking one small action right now? You have the power to do that. It all starts with a decision to act immediately. Procrastination doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your ambitions, your goals, or your future. It only cares about keeping you stuck, keeping you in the same place where you've been for years. The key to defeating procrastination is to understand that it's not about motivation or waiting for the right moment. It's about making a choice to act decisively, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you don't have the full picture. When you act immediately, you break the cycle. The problem with procrastination is that it convinces you that you need to wait for the perfect time. It tricks you into thinking that you have to feel motivated before you can take action. But here's the truth, you'll never feel 100% ready. The perfect time never arrives. The right conditions won't magically appear. If you wait for everything to align perfectly, you'll never take the first step. So what do? You take action anyway. You break the habit by forcing yourself to act immediately. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be flawless. It just has to be done. Taking that first step, no matter how small, creates momentum. And that momentum will carry you forward. The longer you delay, the harder it gets. The sooner you act, the easier it becomes. It all starts with the realization that procrastination is a choice, not a force you have no control over. You are in control. You always have been. The moment you take responsibility for your actions or lack of actions, you start to reclaim your power. The truth is, every time you procrastinate, you're choosing to stay in your comfort zone. You're choosing to avoid the discomfort of getting started. But that discomfort, it's a necessary part of growth. It's the signal that you're pushing your limits, that you're breaking through barriers. Let's talk about the real reason you procrastinate. It's not because you don't want success. It's not because you don't have big dreams. It's because deep down, you fear failure. You fear that your work won't be good enough. You fear that you'll fall short. You fear that you won't be able to handle the pressure of delivering. So instead of taking action and risking failure, you delay it. But here's the irony. By procrastinating, you're guaranteeing failure. You're guaranteeing that you won't achieve anything because you've already decided that fear will control your actions. What would happen if you decided to face that fear head on? What if you took that first step, no matter how imperfect it was? What if you stopped letting fear dictate your decisions and started acting immediately with courage and determination? What would that look like for you? What could you accomplish if you started moving even when the path wasn't clear? You don't have to overhaul your entire life today. But you can start by making one small change. Act now. Pick up the phone, send an email, write the first paragraph. Whatever it is you've been avoiding, just do it. Take that small action and you'll feel an immediate sense of accomplishment. That sense of accomplishment will give you the momentum to keep going. Now, I want you to think about the last time you put something off. Maybe it was a project at work, a personal goal, or something that's been on your mind for weeks. Think about how it made you feel. Did you feel stress creeping in as the deadline loomed? Did you feel that anxiety building every time you thought about it? That's what procrastination does. It creates a weight on your shoulders, a constant reminder that you're falling behind. But what if instead of feeling that weight, you took immediate action? What if, instead of putting it off, you attacked it head on today, right now? You'd feel lighter. You'd feel in control. You'd feel empowered. But I get it. There's another reason why people procrastinate: perfectionism. You think that unless everything is lined up perfectly, you can't move forward. You need all the details, all the plans, all the resources. But perfectionism is another form of procrastination. It keeps you stuck in analysis paralysis. You don't need everything to be perfect. You need to start. You need to act. You need to create momentum, and the only way to do that is to let go of the need for everything to be flawless. Here's a powerful truth: perfectionism is the enemy of progress. The more you wait for things to be perfect, the more you hold yourself back. You'll never reach your goals if you insist on perfection. Instead, you have to give yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn as you go. The more you embrace imperfection, the faster you'll move forward. Imagine what could happen if you committed to acting immediately without waiting for the perfect conditions. Imagine how much closer you'd be to your goals if you stopped allowing procrastination to hold you back. You don't have time to wait. You have dreams to chase. You have goals to achieve. And if you want to make it happen, you have to act now. But action doesn't just mean doing more, it means doing the right things. It means prioritizing what matters most and cutting through the noise. Procrastination loves to distract you with insignificant tasks. It tricks you into thinking that busy work equals productivity. But the truth is, you have to focus on the tasks that will move the needle, the ones that will get you closer to your goals. It's time to stop pretending that tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow is just another day to procrastinate, another day to tell yourself you'll start then. The only time that matters is now. You want to achieve anything, you must act immediately. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. The moment you decide to act is the moment you take control of your future. So what are you waiting for? What's the one thing you've been putting off that, if you did it now, could change the course of your life? The time to act is now. Break the cycle of procrastination. Take that first step, even if it's small, and start building momentum. The more you act, the more power you gain. And soon, you'll look back and realize that every decision you made to act immediately was a decision that brought you closer to the life you desire. The future starts now. Don't let procrastination rob you of it. Chapter 18. Learn to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gains. You are one decision away from changing your entire life. That decision is not easy, and it requires sacrifice. You will face moments of temptation, moments where short-term pleasure beckons, promising instant satisfaction. But here's the cold truth. If you choose the easy path, you're guaranteeing your future will be stuck in the same loop of mediocrity. If you want success, true, lasting success, you must learn to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gain. This is where growth happens. This is where you unlock your true potential. Right now, somewhere in your life, there's an area where you're trading immediate satisfaction for long-term progress. Maybe it's hitting snooze on your alarm instead of waking up and pushing yourself. Maybe it's spending money on unnecessary things instead of investing in your future. Maybe it's indulging in distractions, scrolling through social media, or procrastinating on the work you know you should be doing. Every time you choose immediate gratification, you are sacrificing your future success. That small moment of pleasure robs you of the power to create something greater. It's not about denying yourself joy. It's not about living a life of misery and deprivation. It's about understanding that true pleasure comes not from momentary indulgences, but from delayed gratification, the satisfaction of knowing that your future self will be grateful for the sacrifices you make today. When you can see past the temporary, fleeting pleasures of today, you unlock the power to create a future beyond what most people are even capable of dreaming. Imagine the life you could live if you consistently made decisions that prioritized your long-term growth. What if every day you chose to invest in your future instead of your immediate desires? What could you accomplish? How would you feel knowing that you are continuously building the future you want? Every decision you make, every small sacrifice, is a brick in the foundation of your success. The question is, will you lay those bricks today, or will you let them crumble under the weight of today's indulgences? The pain of sacrifice is temporary, The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. It might feel good to stay in bed an extra hour, to indulge in that extra serving, or to scroll through your phone for just a few more minutes. But ask yourself, does that instant pleasure align with the person you want to become? Will that extra hour of sleep, that extra piece of cake, that extra moment of laziness bring you closer to your goals? Or does it push them further away? This is the battle you face every single day. And it's a battle you must win, not because you'll never enjoy life again, but because you understand that true satisfaction comes from building something that lasts. The fleeting pleasures of today are hollow in comparison to the lasting rewards of your hard work, your sacrifices, your commitment, or greater vision. Let's take a moment to talk about the power of patience. In our fast-paced world, we're trained to expect immediate results. We want things now, and we want them with minimal effort. But success doesn't work that way. The path to greatness is paved with consistency, delayed gratification, and sacrifice. Every successful person you admire has had to make sacrifices, small daily decisions that, over time, have compounded into extraordinary achievements. And they didn't get there by giving in to the temptation of instant pleasure. They chose to work through the discomfort, to push through the easy options, to focus on what truly matters. Look at the world's greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, or creatives. Behind every success story is a trail of sacrifices made, choices that most people aren't willing to make. They gave up nights out with friends to practice. They said no to immediate rewards so they could invest in something far greater. And in doing so, they built lives of meaning, purpose, and financial freedom. They didn't take the easy way out. They took the path less traveled, the one that demanded more of them. And as a result, they've achieved things that most people will never even attempt. But the key here is this: you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to make the right choice every single time. What matters is consistency. Every time you make the decision to put in the work to sacrifice something now for something greater later, you're moving closer to your goals. It's not about one perfect day, one perfect decision. It's about an accumulation of small choices that over time shape your destiny. Now, let's talk about the hardest part of sacrifice: the internal battle. The voice inside your head that tells you to give in. The one that says you deserve this or it's not a big deal. That voice will always be there whispering to you in your weakest moments. But here's what you need to know: that voice is lying to you. It's the voice of complacency, the voice of mediocrity, the voice of fear. It doesn't want you to change. It wants you to stay comfortable. But if you listen to that voice, you'll never grow. You'll never achieve the greatness you're capable of. When that voice comes, recognize it for what it is: a distraction, a lie, and make the choice to do the opposite. Do the hard thing. Do the uncomfortable thing. Sacrifice the easy pleasure for the long-term gain. Every time you ignore that voice and take action anyway, you strengthen your ability to make decisions that align with your goals. It's like building muscle. The more you choose to sacrifice for your future, the easier it becomes. Now, let's talk about the long-term benefits. Sacrificing short-term pleasure doesn't just lead to financial success, career achievements, or physical health. It leads to a sense of fulfillment, a sense of purpose, a life that you can be proud of. When you're constantly making choices that align with your future self, you develop an inner strength, a confidence that comes from knowing you are building something of value. You stop living for momentary satisfaction and start living for something far greater, the life you're capable of creating. But here's the real secret: when you sacrifice the short term for the long term, the reward isn't just external, it's internal. You feel better about yourself because you know you are doing what most people won't. You're pushing yourself to be better every single day. And that sense of self-worth, that pride in knowing you're not just going through the motions, will fuel you to keep going. So, what does this look like in practice? It's in the small, everyday decisions. It's saying no to that extra hour of sleep so you can hit the gym. It's saying no to the impulse buy and saving that money for something meaningful. It's saying no to distractions so you can focus on your work and finish what you started. It's in choosing to prioritize what's truly important, even when it's hard, even when it feels uncomfortable. And here's the most powerful thing about this: every time you make a sacrifice, you are strengthening your character. You are building resilience, discipline, and self-control. These are the qualities that define true success. It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's not the material things. It's the inner strength, the mental toughness, the ability to stay focused on what truly matters. This is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who understand that sacrifice is not a punishment, but a path to freedom. If you want a life of abundance, freedom, and fulfillment, you must make the choice to sacrifice the instant pleasures that keep you stuck in the cycle of mediocrity. You must choose to delay gratification for a greater reward. And the more you do this, the more you'll see how your life transforms. Every sacrifice is a step toward the life you've always dreamed of. So, ask yourself today, what is the one small sacrifice you can make now to create a future that's worth living? What's one small choice you can make today that will set you on the path to greatness? The power is in your hands. And when you learn to make those sacrifices, your life will never be the same. Chapter 19, Stay disciplined in moments of failure and setback. When everything falls apart, when the world feels like it's crushing you under its weight, and when the setbacks seem unbearable, this is the exact moment that defines your future. It's easy to stay disciplined when things are going well, when success comes easily. But the true test of your character happens when life knocks you down. Are you strong enough to get back up and keep pushing forward? Failure is not a full stop. It's just a comma in your journey. Too many people see failure as the end of the road, the final nail in their coffin. They get discouraged, lose confidence, and let their mistakes define them. But here's the truth, failure is nothing more than an opportunity to start again, stronger, smarter, and more resilient. The key is not avoiding failure, but learning how to stay disciplined, focused, and relentless, even in the face of it. You're going to face setbacks no matter who you are, no matter how prepared you think you are. Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. You'll encounter disappointments, frustrations, and defeats. But here's where the magic happens. Those moments, those seemingly insurmountable obstacles, are the exact moments that build your strength. It's in the struggle where your character is forged. And that's when discipline becomes your greatest asset. Discipline doesn't disappear when things get tough. It's not a switch you can turn on and off based on your circumstances. Real discipline isn't a choice you make only when things are going according to plan. It's the choice you make when life is throwing curveballs, when nothing is going right, and when every part of you wants to quit. Discipline is what keeps you moving when failure tries to drag you down. In moments of failure, there's an urge to throw your hands up, to walk away, to surrender to the pain. That's when you have to double down. That's when you need to remind yourself why you started. The dream you're chasing doesn't disappear when things get hard. It only gets clearer when you choose to persevere through the storm. Each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a part of the process. If you don't learn from it, you're wasting the opportunity to grow stronger. When you face setbacks, the voice inside your head will try to tell you that you're not good enough, that this is too hard, that maybe you should give up. It's the part of your mind that is scared of growth, scared of discomfort. It doesn't want you to face the hard truth. Growth only happens when you push past what's comfortable. There's a reason why the greatest success stories in the world are filled with failure. It's because failure is not a roadblock. It's a tool. It's a weapon in your arsenal. Without failure, you would never learn, never evolve, and never experience the depth of your true potential. So when you fail, and you will fail, don't see it as a reason to quit. See it as your opportunity to learn something new, to refine your approach, and to come back stronger than ever before. The power of staying disciplined during setbacks lies in how you react to them. Everyone can stay disciplined when things are going well. It's easy to wake up early and put in the work when success is right around the corner. But when you're struggling, when you've just faced a crushing defeat, that's when you need discipline more than ever. The ability to stay focused, to keep working even when it feels like nothing is moving forward, that's the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity. Let's talk about the process of resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding pain. It's about learning how to handle it, how to bounce back, and how to keep moving when the road ahead seems impossible. Every setback you encounter is a test of your resilience. It's easy to stay disciplined when everything is smooth sailing. But when you're tested, when your resolve is challenged, that's when you need resilience to step in and push you forward. Resilience isn't about being immune to failure. It's about having the strength to get back up, no matter how many times you're knocked down. It's about staying disciplined in the face of adversity. When you stay disciplined, when you keep pushing forward, you are conditioning yourself for success. Success isn't a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, twists and turns. But rising isn't just about getting back up. It's about doing it with intention, with focus, and with discipline. It's about setting your sights on the long-term vision and refusing to let short-term setbacks derail your progress. When you face failure, you don't stop. You don't get complacent. You stay disciplined, you learn from the experience, and you keep moving forward. There's a critical mindset shift that happens when you embrace failure as part of the journey. You stop seeing failure as something to be avoided and start seeing it as something to be embraced. Because when you embrace failure, you embrace growth. And growth requires you to push past what's easy and comfortable. It requires you to put in the work when it feels like the universe is against you. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it must be exercised. When things are hard, it's the perfect opportunity to build that muscle. Every time you keep going, every time you choose to stay disciplined in the face of failure, you are strengthening your mental toughness. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to keep going, even when it seems impossible. Let's be clear, staying disciplined during moments of failure doesn't mean pretending like everything is fine. It's okay to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even angry when things don't go your way. What matters is how you respond. Do you stay in that moment of negativity, or do you rise above it? Do you let your failures define you, or do you define yourself by how you choose to handle those failures? Every successful person has encountered failure, but what sets them apart is that they didn't let failure define them. They let it teach them. They didn't give up on their dreams because they faced setbacks. They used those setbacks as fuel to drive them forward. They stayed disciplined, focused, and committed to the process. In your journey, you will encounter moments of doubt. You will experience times when everything seems to be going wrong. But in those moments, remember this: failure is not a reflection of who you are, it's a part of the process. And you are in control of how you respond. The world may try to knock you down, but your discipline, your resilience, and your focus will be the things that lift you up. So when life gets tough, don't quit. Don't walk away. Stay disciplined. Keep your focus on your goals. Use failure as a lesson, not a reason to stop. Keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible. And as you do, you will realize that every setback, every failure, and every challenge was simply preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Remember, true success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from pushing through it. So stay disciplined, stay focused, and most importantly, stay committed to the vision of the person you are becoming. You've got this. Chapter 20, reflect on your journey and keep pushing forward. You've come so far. The struggles, the setbacks, the pain, it hasn't been easy, but look at you now. You're still standing, and every ounce of effort you've poured into your journey has led you to this moment. But there's a powerful truth you need to grasp. This is not the end. This is just the beginning of an even greater chapter. The temptation is strong. You want to look back, to pause, to marvel at how far you've come, and there's nothing wrong with that. Reflection is powerful. But the danger lies in staying there, in being so caught up in what you've accomplished that you lose sight of what's ahead. The journey doesn't end when you hit a milestone. It begins anew with every step you take forward. Your journey is a never-ending cycle of growth, learning, and pushing the limits of what you thought was possible. Reflecting on your progress is vital, but you can never let that reflection become an excuse to stop. The moment you start thinking you've arrived is the moment you begin to stagnate. It's the moment you start losing the hunger, the drive that's brought you this far. The world is constantly changing, and if you're not constantly evolving along with it, you'll be left behind. The journey you've undertaken isn't a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself. What matters now, more than anything, is what you choose to do next. So many people stop when they reach a level of comfort or success. They look at how far they've come, they let the past define their future, and they get stuck in the idea of, I've made it. But the truly great ones, the ones who change the world, never stop. They reflect, they learn, and then they immediately use that knowledge to push even harder. They keep going, not because they're desperate for more, but because they know that true fulfillment comes from constant growth. Success is not a destination, but a direction. You are constantly evolving, constantly pushing the boundaries of who you are. So as you look back on your journey, take a moment to appreciate how much you've overcome. Appreciate the sacrifices you've made, the battles you've fought, and the strength you've gained. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small they seem, because those small wins add up to big victories. But never let those wins define you, because the person you are today is not the person you're meant to become tomorrow. Every single step you've taken has brought you closer to the person you are destined to be. But if you stop now, if you rest on your laurels, you will be cheating yourself of the endless possibilities that are waiting for you. The person who you are today is not the final version. You have barely scratched the surface of your true potential. You are capable of so much more. Every challenge you faced has prepared you for something greater. The discomfort, the failures, the sacrifices, they've all been necessary for this moment. But as much as they've shaped you, they don't define you. It's easy to get lost in the past, to relive the victories and defeats, but the key to greatness lies in your ability to look ahead. The future is where your focus should be. Your journey doesn't stop because you've reached a point of success. It continues because you know there is still more to accomplish, more lives to touch, and more limits to push. The real question is, how will you use what you've learned from your journey so far to create the next phase of your growth? The way you reflect on your past, whether with pride or regret, shapes how you move forward. It's time to break free from any limiting beliefs you've picked up along the way. The mistakes of yesterday are just that, yesterday. What matters is how you respond to them today and how you carry those lessons into the future. Will you choose to grow, or will you choose to stay stuck in the comfort of past achievements? Will you keep pushing, or will you allow complacency to creep in? Your journey is not just about what you've already accomplished, it's about what you will accomplish next. You have the power to shape the future you want. But that requires action. It requires discipline. It requires resilience. It requires reflection, not as a means to pat yourself on the back, but as a tool to propel you forward. Look, there's no magic moment where everything becomes easy. The journey never ends, and the challenges will always be there. But what makes you stronger, what makes you better, is your ability to keep moving, to keep pushing forward, no matter how tough the road gets. You are not meant to settle. You are meant to push boundaries and rise to new heights over and over again. There is always more. Always. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not the ones who look at their past and think, I've made it. They are the ones who look at their past and think, what can I do next? You have the